Over 70 international athletes are coming to Christchurch to take on New Zealand's best right here at home in their bids to qualify for this year's Paris Olympics. The International Track Meet at Puna will be New Zealand's biggest international turnout for a one-day track and field meet ever. Action in the World Athletics Continental Tour events. Don't miss the International Track Meet.
What's the best thing we grow in Ōtautahi Christchurch? Time and space to play. We have some stunning playgrounds here. Exciting ones and inspiring ones. Playgrounds for children and your inner child too. We grow delicious kai that brings everyone together. We grow great times, once in a lifetimes, and unforgettable memories. We grow by enjoying big things and the little things too. If you're seeking balance, this is the place to grow a deeper connection to our nature, culture, and people. Ōtautahi Christchurch.
Kia ora, nau mai, haere mai. Welcome to beautiful Ōtautahi Christchurch for the 2024 edition of the International Track Meet. My name is Nick Bewley alongside Sarah Cowley-Ross again this afternoon. Huge afternoon in store, Sarah. We've got, I think it's about 90 athletes from 16 different countries. So exciting to have such a high calibre event here in the Garden City.
Oh, it's wonderful, Nick, and it's great to be here at Ngā Puna in Ōtautahi Christchurch. We have got an exciting afternoon of track and field. I'm looking forward to, in particular, the men's triple jump. The first time in New Zealand we will see Valray and Ethan Olivier. Currently in South Africa, but Kiwis, and they're going to have a great battle out there. Hopefully we'll see a national record and get the wins right, but what are you looking forward to?
I'm going to hark back to last year. It was the highlight of my day. Rosie Elliott, Georgia Hulls in the women's 200 metres both dipped under the national record in around that 22.8 second mark, and the wind a little bit of a nor'wester again, Sarah, so we might see some blistering times again, but there's so much to unpack and enjoy. Hope you enjoy the stream over the next few hours. As you can see there, a bit of cloud cover this afternoon. It's supposed to get to a high of 27 degrees here in Christchurch. Let's just take a look at the full program. Really appreciate you joining us here on the live stream on YouTube and Facebook. The hammer throw, the men's and women's hammer throw is underway. Had to get underway a little bit earlier at midday, so we'll get some information from the men's and women's hammer, brought to you by the International Track and Field Trust very shortly. In about 10 minutes time too, the men's long jump, brought to you by the NZ Sock Company, and the Bremke women's triple jump, which both start at 1:20, or the long jump, sorry, 1:20, the women's triple jump at 1:25, both bronze tier events. And of course we're in an Olympic year, so some key qualification points up for grabs here, hence the calibre and diversity of the field. As mentioned earlier, 90 athletes from 16 different countries, sprinkled in with the best of our local talent from Aotearoa, looking to get some points to mount a case for Olympic selection and qualifications. We can just see there some competitors going through their final bits of preparation for the men's long jump and the women's triple jump, which are about 10 or so minutes away. Then our first track event of the afternoon at 1:30, the women's 100-metre hurdles, and followed shortly after by the Represent Footwear men's high jump. Really looking forward to the men's high jump. No Hamish Kerr, who does hold the meet and stadium record here at Ngā Puna. He, I understand, has just touched down in Glasgow ahead of the World Indoor Athletics Championships, which will be held next week. One of 10 New Zealand athletes involved in those championships. But we have 6 Japanese high jumpers who have all cleared 2.24 metres or higher. Tomohiro Shino with the top clearance, a personal best of 2.31 metres. So that gets underway just after 1:30. But there is just so much action. I won't bore you with all of it at once. But of course, discus, 800 metres, triple jump, 100 metres, 200 metres later in the program. There is a lot to get through. But let's see if we can get some info via the hammer throw, which, as I mentioned, is underway, started at around midday. And the real interest here from a New Zealand standpoint is Lauren Bruce. Unbeaten so far in 2024, the South Cantabrian has a season's best of 70.15 metres. The magic number for her in terms of an automatic qualifier for the Paris Olympics is 74 metres. She has heaved the hammer beyond 74, personal best of 74.61, and I can tell you with her third attempt this afternoon, she now has a new season's best of 70.59 metres. There is the men's hammer throw standings as things stand as we head towards the 6th attempt, I believe. 5 competitors in the men's field. Fukuda Shota of Japan is leading the way with the best of 67.31 metres. Consistent showing so far from Shota with 67.31, a 67.21 and a 65.68. So one attempt to go for our men's competitors. Timothy Hayes there of Australia, currently in second position. Damien Wells. And then the local contingent, Todd Bates, multiple New Zealand medalist there. His best, it's just gone off screen, but he's currently in 4th position. There are the women's standings, as mentioned, that third attempt there from Lauren Bruce of 70.59 metres. So she is in the lead over Vanessa Sterkendries of Belgium, who has a best so far of 66.70 metres, just about 1.5 metres down on her season's best. So encouraging signs early, as we can just see in the back of that shot too. Shot put not far away from getting underway either. Some fantastic para-athletes here this afternoon too at Ngā Puna, the international track meet. Holly Robinson will be featuring in the shot put. And the likes of Danielle Aitchison and Will Steadman also involved in the ITM, the 2024 edition. As we take a look over at the cage for the hammer. And penultimate attempts here coming up. And I've just been joined in commentary by Craig Motley. Good afternoon, Craig.
Hey Nick, how we doing?
Very well, thanks, mate. Very busy. You're walking around doing all sorts of jobs today, but we're underway. We're in earnest. How good to see such a quality field of internationals from 16 different countries, 90 competitors. That's you must be really rapt.
Oh, absolutely rapt. To have so many internationals really reflects the years of work that Paul LT and I have put into this event, and looks like we've got a pretty quality hammer throw with Lauren out over 70 metres and the Australians both throwing personal bests in the men's, I understand.
Yeah, I was just mentioning before, a new season's best for Lauren, 70.59 metres, and a couple of attempts to go. It's certainly knocking on the door, up over 70 metres with what is it, the Olympic auto qualifier there being 74, but obviously being a bronze tier event, so it's all about building, you know, some results that if you can't get that auto marker, it's at least a compelling case to put yourself forward in the shop window for selection.
Oh, absolutely, and we have a number of athletes who, obviously high international class, but their, World Athletics sets the automatic standard, the 74 metres like you mentioned, but then there's 32 athletes are allowed into the Olympics, so about 16 will get the auto. The other 16 will be competing on performance, so distance combined with bronze points, that sort of thing. So someone like Lauren and Vanessa Sturkendrees from Belgium, they're really chasing those points as well as a good distance. That's what they're looking for, and I know talking to Vanessa yesterday, she's throwing 69.90. She really wants to get that 70 metre mark. That's a big barrier for most female hammer throwers.
And we've had 3 in New Zealand, haven't we, that have gone over 70 in the last wee while?
Absolutely,
Lauren.
Yeah, we had 3 all in the 1 year, and 2 of them have since retired. That's so true. Lauren's left a bit by herself, but talking to her, she's just really happy to have some competition back on her home circle, as it were. She's based in Melbourne now, but has done a lot of training at Puna.
I'll put you on the spot here, Craig, because there's so much to get through this afternoon, but where are your eyes going to be firmly focused? What are you looking forward to? What are some of the main highlights you're really looking forward to?
Well, I think the 200s, obviously, they were a highlight last year. We've got a pretty class women's and men's 200 metres to finish off the program. But I think the highlights are going to be in the field events this year. I'm really looking forward to the men's triple jump. I was lucky to be on a trip to World Juniors with Ethan Olivier 2 years ago when he finished 4th, and he's got better and better. He's still a junior. And he and his brother have been exchanging the New Zealand triple jump record. They're both here, first competition as adults on New Zealand soil, with an international class field up against them. The New Zealand record's going to go, the resident record at least, if not the big record. So that's going to be huge. And then the men's and women's discus, big fields of 12, full of international athletes. We're going to see that disc fly a long, long way.
So that men's triple jump brought to you by News Talk CP. That's at 2:45 with the Olivier brothers. And that's one to jot down in the book, I reckon, 2:45. The Olivier brothers, tell us a bit about them, because I guess that for some they might have flown a little bit under the radar, being based in South Africa, not sort of some not as aware of their progress, but they've spent some time in New Zealand, now South Africa. Yeah, so their father Discus was a South African triple jump record holder, and competed at world universities, that sort of thing. They immigrated to New Zealand when Valerie was quite young, and Ethan was born in New Zealand, living in Auckland. And then when Valerie was about 8 or 9, I think they immigrated back to South Africa, where they've been based since. But strong New Zealand ties, and have obviously chosen to represent New Zealand on an international stage. I think they've shared the New Zealand record 3 or 4 times. It's bounced between the brothers, quite a bit of friendly rivalry there, with Ethan the younger holding it at, I think it's 16.67 now. So and for triple jumpers, 17 metres is the magic distance for them. So they're looking to go really, really big. They've been here for a week training on the facility, so they know it. And the press conference yesterday, they were ready to go. And it looks like Lauren just threw another big effort out there in the hammer. We'll check on that result in a second. Yeah, the meet record, of course, in the men's triple jump was set last year by Aidan Hinson. It was a real strong Australian contingent, 16.72. So that would be PB territory for Ethan, but you feel like they're in that sort of touch.
Yes, and of course Aidan's back as well, and he's in good shape. He's been competing in Australia in a couple of meets over there. So, yeah, those guys, and then we have Yuki Yamashita, who has also jumped over 1650. Julian Conley from Australia, who's out over 1650, and then the Malaysian jumper Andrea Nura, who's also a over 1650. So that's a real quality triple jump.
Just to wait to see if Lauren Bruce, we can just see behind the high jump bar there, has improved on her best of 70.5 67.59, which was with her third attempt. Fourth attempt went just a little under that, but it's a model of consistency, isn't it, Craig? You think 67.58 is her lowest and 70.59 her best.
Yeah, look, she's in really, really good shape. I was talking to her coach, Dale Stevenson, yesterday. He thinks she's ready to pop a big one, but it's about putting it all together. There's a number of factors in the hammer. It is quite a technical event, but when they get it right, obviously it goes a very, very long way.
Won't be too far away either from the beginning of our long jump, men's long jump, brought to you by the NZ Sock Company and the Bremke women's triple jump as well. This is the nature with athletics. There's just so many events all at once. It's fantastic to get as much of it in as we can.
Yes, and just for those people who are listening who want to see the live results, they're on liveathletic.net, and if you look up ITM in the search function, you'll be able to get pretty much up-to-date results as quick as we're seeing them. And we're not getting the men's hammer results quite coming up. They're having a little bit of technical difficulties out there. I can let you know that Timothy Hayes from Australia has thrown a 2-metre personal best. I was out there a wee while ago, and he is very, very happy. He made an effort to come over here to get some good competition. Previous personal best of 61 metres, I think it was, and he's out over 63. Sorry, Damien is out to 61.
Yeah,
and, yeah.
I've had Sarah Cowley-Ross, our roving reporter, out in the field just to get some information about that men's hammer as it just popped up there. But yes, Fukuda Shota currently in the lead with one attempt remaining with 67.31.
Yeah, I think I did meet Shota earlier. We actually got his name around the wrong way. Unfortunately, he's Shota Fukuda, but he's got Shota on his tag. He's all fine with it. And yeah, look, he's a 70-metre thrower at best as well. So he had a couple of fouls early on, but I think he's got a legal distance in there now.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, foul with the first and the third attempt. But yeah, 67.21, a 67.31, and then a 65.68. With one to come. So what is it about the Japanese, I must ask, Craig? There's several of them. Is it just time of the year that they like coming down to New Zealand? Can you talk us through that?
Well, so the bronze meet and the points are extremely important, and what we have is a number of Japanese who I don't like to use the word fringe, but ones who are not international class athletes who are not getting the automatic marks but want to qualify with sort of the next tier through the points plus performance system. And so we're in the same time zone, good relationships with the Japanese, and I was contacted by one agent who wanted to bring 9 athletes, and I said, yeah, sure, we'll take them. And then I believe they all talked to each other. Within 24 hours I had 3 other agents say, no, we've got these other athletes that want to come, and I was running out of rooms to put them in, and said, sure, you can come, I just can't put you in rooms. And they pay their own way, which is fantastic for meet organisers. But yeah, we've got 26 Japanese across a variety of events. The men's high jump, actually, I didn't mention that before, but that will be extremely interesting. We have 6 Japanese out there, as we see Elena Withnell-Dickerson in the women's triple there. That might be her first jump. It looks like the red flag's up, so she's just overstepped the mark at the start there. And then we're switching to the long jump. Old Boys United. And it's Masaki Temuka, decathlete. And he's first away there, and we'll wait to see for the distance. And that is our men's long jump and women's triple both get underway, both jumping at the end of the track where they're most favoured by the wind. They've got lovely little tail there. And there's going to be some strong competition in the men's long jump as well. We've got an Australian jumper who's out over 8 metres, and 2 Japanese who are also 8-metre jumpers. And then, of course, New Zealand's Shea Veach, 7.99. He's looking for that 8-metre. Just
that 1 centimetre, right?
Yeah, yeah. And the automatic mark for the Olympics for that is huge. It's 8.27. Like I said, 32 athletes in field events in the Olympics. The World Athletics sets that standard. As we see Des Lausu onto the triple jump runway in the women's.
Defending champion.
And the record holder. Doesn't look totally unhappy with it, but she's got a white flag, which is always a good start.
So has the meet record from last year when she won of 13.38. As some results start to come through now from the long jump as well, correct?
Yeah, Misaki with a 6.92, which must be very close to his best. Yeah, he's jumped just over 7 before, so he'll be pretty happy with that. And one of the Japanese competitors going a long way there, Fujihara.
Yeah, Koki
Fujihara. He's one of the 8-metre jumpers, and he is right near the end of the pit. So the board they take off from is 2 metres back from the start of the pit. Then the pit is about 8 metres long, so he's gone a long way there. I would say that's pretty close to 8. First up, we'll
want to ask about some news that's filtering through in the world of long jump. Some discussion, or at least a proposal and perhaps some trial around the launch area being changed. Huge, yes, potentially.
Yes, yeah, it would make a huge difference. You know, obviously part of it is getting the run up at the front of the board. That's part of the accuracy of the event. Certainly, social media feedback is extremely mixed, extremely mixed. So. Yeah, and for the big jumpers, it might mean if they can take off from anywhere, then the pits are going to have to get longer.
Indeed, one to follow for sure. It looks like it would be something that wouldn't be, well, certainly not in place for this Olympics, but potentially the next. As we go back to the long jump, Kaylin Paranihi.
Yeah, just recently shifted down to Christchurch, and he's training with the old boys squad. And that jump from Koki Fujihara, 7 metres 80 to start, and that is one of the longest jumps. Well, I think it's a stadium record for sure. It's one of the longest jumps in the South Island for a long, long time.
It certainly is. The New Zealand all-comers record is joint, held by Bob Thomas back in 1968 and Liam Adcock last year.
Yeah, Liam jumping that in the Sir Graham Douglas meeting in Auckland, as we see the high jumpers being introduced to the field. As you can see, 6 Japanese high jumpers in there, and we expect them all up in the 220, so it's going to be a great competition. Yeah, Liam has returned in the long jump, and yeah, he'll be looking for a big one.
As we go back to the women's triple jump, and that was Maoko Takashima, who has a personal best of 13.82 metres, also a season's best, so coming down to Christchurch in some form. And there it is, the Represent Footwear men's high jump, and yeah, 6 Japanese athletes have gone 2.24 metres or better. Tomohiro Shino with the best of the lot at 2.31.
Well, here's Shea Veach, the New Zealander, in the long jump, and he is storming in there. And oh, he's just red flag at the start. It looks like he must have just overstepped the mark there. He's asking, no, they've changed it. They've had a look. Well, red initially, but obviously no mark on the plasticine, so he must have been right on the front there. He's having a word with his coach, and we'll wait to see that that jump. The previous jumper, Kaylin Paranihi, with 6.67. And in the hammer throw, we see the Belgian Vanessa Sterkendries into the circle. This will be her last round. She's looking for that 70 metre. I know yesterday she said she'd do a lap of the track dancing if she made 70, and that's gone high and long.
We'll await the measurement there. Her best with her penultimate attempt, which was 67.54. We head back to the triple jump. Good, healthy crowd, and Craig, you must be pretty happy with that too.
The banks are full and people still coming in, and on the runway there looks like we've got Hannah Collins, the New Zealand Secondary Schools champion.
Here is Lauren Bruce by the looks of it, just getting ready for her final attempt.
It looks like they're away in the 110 hurdles as well, 100 hurdles for women. And close at the finish there. Looked like the lady from Luxembourg might have just pipped Abby Tadeo in the 100 hurdles there.
Yeah, Victoria Rausch.
So we've got the finish. Victoria Rausch might have just got there. We'll wait for the result in that.
As we concentrate for the time being on Lauren Bruce, can she better her best.
So last round for Lauren. Looking to get really smooth movement and then speed up, accelerate on release.
And that might have hit the side of the cage.
Looks like she's gone into the net on the last, just trying it, just releasing probably a fraction early and into the side of the cage there for a foul, unfortunately. Felix McDonald in the long jump.
Here is the start of the men's high jump.
Tia Wynyard over the initial height there. And we'll see if we get a result for the 100 hurdles yet. That should be coming up shortly. Just get the times there for them. We're just waiting for that to catch up. They'll be checking the wind reading, and looks like it's a plus 1.5, so nice legal wind. The sprinters are loving the conditions. It's a warm day out there, a little bit overcast, nice little tailwind. Elena Withnell-Dixon in the triple with a red flag there.
Lewis Arthur in the men's long jump.
Great for the jumpers. I know, talking to a couple of the athletes and their coaches, they're really excited about both events going at once. Generates a bit of atmosphere. There's people running fast and jumping long beside them. There's a big crowd up on the bank watching the jumps. They don't often get that. It's sometimes the long jumps over on the back straight or a different place. So the atmosphere here is great. And
time's in for the hurdles.
And it was actually Chisato Kiyoyama who won that in a 13.21, just pipping Abby Tadeo 13.30, and Victoria Rausch from Luxembourg was actually in third, 13.54. Christina Ryan, New Zealand heptathlete, in 14.51, just ahead of junior Holly Gray, who's the New Zealand Secondary Schools 300 metre hurdles champion. And just looking at those times there, that is a meet and stadium record by half a second to Chisato Kiyoyama, 13.21. She has run slightly under 13 before, but I'm sure she'll be happy with that, along with the extra bronze points. And Abby Tadeo, personal best of 13.02, but she's improved her season's best by 0.2 of a second.
Let's go to Sarah.
Well, I'm here with the Insight Management Women's 100 metre hurdles. The winner, Kasato from Japan. First of all, congratulations. How did it feel?
So very nervous because this race is my season opener. Yeah, but good running. Yes.
Well, she told me her English wasn't that great, but I think you did really well there. So do you want to just say hi back to your family in Japan? Because I know they're watching.
Hi, Japanese.
And I have here Abby, come in close, from Australia, second place, but are you happy with that?
Happy with the start, but just towards the back end of those last 4 hurdles, a little bit rusty. So definitely some work to keep going through. And yeah, look, at the end of the day, another race under the belt. So leading into nationals, it's always good.
Yeah, Aussies have got some sensational short hurdlers at the moment. That must be exciting for you to push for that sub-13 second barrier. What's ahead of you for the season?
I'll head to Canberra next week, and then I'll have my state championships and then lead into nationals. So yeah, it's really good. We've got a couple of fast girls at the moment, so it's always pushing us to greater time, so I love it.
Well, it's wonderful to have you both here. Congratulations on your podium finishes today. Back to you, Nick, in the commentary booth.
Thanks for that, thank you for that, Sarah. We'll just do a quick recap of those times once more. So the winner of the 100 hurdles from Japan, Chisato Kiyoyama, and it's up on the screen there for you, 13.21. Abby Tadeo, 13.30. Victoria Rausch, 13.53, and Christina Ryan, 14.51. Holly Gray, 14.69, and that might have been close to a personal best for Holly. In fact, I think it was. She's down in the program as a 15:07, but I think she ran a 14.8 the week after that. But that's a big PB for her. She'll be wrapped just out of school, and improving with every race.
And based on the program too, potentially a personal best for Christina Ryan as well. So that's what can happen when you get these international athletes down. The level lifts for everyone.
Yeah, and it's certainly something our aim for the ITM Trust is not only to bring this international competition to New Zealand, but to provide those international opportunities for New Zealanders in big competition. And we see the high jump here, looks like Tia Wynyard attempting the next height. He's been over 2 metres before, and he cleared that pretty comfortably. Just do a check and see what height we're at in the high jump, and shortly we'll be moving to the men's 110 metres high hurdles.
Wynyard, pretty famous name in New Zealand sport. Not sure if they're
related or not.
The basketball Wynyards or the wood chopping.
No. Tia is also a very good basketball player, but as you would expect from a high jumper. But he has a twin brother, Pi, who runs distance.
There you go.
So here's Jaden Williamson clearing that very easily as well. It looks like they're just at 191 at the moment. Then they'll go to 196 after that. So it's just the opening height. Many of the Japanese competitors will be skipping that and coming into the competition a little bit later.
The men's 110 metre hurdles brought to you by Group Web Design in about 6 or 7 minutes time. Craig, and again a real international field. We've got representation from Australia, Japan, here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, Singapore and Ireland.
Yes. Yeah,
sounds like the start of a joke.
It does, and some really good quality. Obviously, the Japanese are both very good. Caleb Willis from Australia now. He is just 20 years of age. I believe turns 21 later this year. He won the Melbourne, the gold meet in Melbourne in the hurdles the other night. So in great form. And Melbourne was cold and wet, so the athletes are really looking forward to. The sprinters like warm conditions, as we see Masaki Tamura out in the long jump there. Yeah, so Matthew, we have the Singaporean champion Chen Chiang Ang, who was also a medalist in the Asian champs. Josh Hawkins also ran in Melbourne, ran 14.00, and so his resident record of 13.94, the one that Josh already holds. Nice warm day. If he gets over all 10 hurdles clean, we could see a New Zealand resident record there. Or if everything goes really, really well, have his own New Zealand national record, 13.67. In the high jump, we have Adam Stack down here studying at university, training with Terry Lomax, James Sandilands. He's cleared that very easily. He'll be looking for a PB today. He's jumped 208, 209, and the progression is that there'll be a 210 jump in there. So he'll be looking to get to that little barrier that all the athletes like to get over. 210, and then 220 is the next big barrier for high jumpers. And a lot of camaraderie there. The Japanese Tomohiro Shino in the background there. He is the highest ranked of the Japanese competitors. He's finished 8th at a World Champs, jumped 2 metres 31 previously, and Tia Wynyard next on the runway. Ooh, just nicked it. Looked like he might have taken off just a little bit too far out and was coming down when he was over by the bar, so he'll be wanting to get a little bit closer next time. See the hammer throwers in the background all packing up. A few interviews going on. Some happy Australian competitors with their personal bests in the hammer. And I'm sure Lauren will be happy with a 70 metre throw and some bronze points. Yeah, and winning. So each your placing also counts in terms of the points. So 60 points for winning a bronze meet. Jaden Williamson just knocking the bar off there. Looked like he just jumped into it rather than over it. Just hit it with his shoulders early on. And our technical delegate Ruth Leong there checking the results are all being updated. So we'll have a look at the high jump. And
Liam Bennett, I believe, of Australia, this might be his first attempt.
Just nicked it slightly there. Liam trains with a couple of the Hong Kong athletes who are competing in the high jump, so he's come over there with them. Michael Kennelly and Tiffany Tang, who's in the women's high jump later on.
And here is Michael Kennelly of Hong Kong. Again, maybe on that one, just taking off a bit too far away from the bar. Tia Wynyard's successful clearance just a few moments ago was at 1.96. I believe we're up to 2.01. Let's go back to Sarah Cowley-Ross in the field. Just hold off there until everything's in place, but not too far away from the men's 110-metre hurdles as well. Here is Sarah.
Here, winner of the women's hammer today, 70.59. How did that feel? Season's best. SB, take that. LB, but SB today.
7 at the start.
Right, I've got Lauren Bruce here, winner of the women's hammer. Season best today, Lauren. Happy with that?
Yeah, relatively happy. There was definitely a few more metres left out there. I thought the 70.59 could have gone a little further, but it will keep. I've got a few more comps coming up, so we'll get after it then.
You're a Canterbury girl now based in Melbourne. Has it been nice to be home and have some of your family here today?
Yeah, it's been super nice. My dad and granddad came up from Timaru and mum's out here officiating today, and had some friends pop by, so it's nice to come back and have a few days at what was previously my home. Yeah, just some familiar faces and familiar places around.
You mentioned your mum is an official, and they really are the backbone of this sport. Has your mum been doing it a long time, and what event is she looking after today?
Yeah, mum's probably gotten into it not long after I got into athletics. I think she couldn't help herself. She needed to be out there doing something while I was out competing. So I think she's like almost second in charge. She's kind of helping run the show today. So, yeah.
Well, valuable points here on the road to Paris for you today at this World Athletics bronze meeting. What's next for you in your season?
Yeah, some good points. I think rankings-wise, I'm sitting pretty good for Paris.
Let's take you now to
obviously, there's a
the
few
men's
more
110-metre hurdles.
Proving top 16 capability. So realistically, I'm going to have to throw 72 plus, and the easiest solution is to throw 74, which
Saki
is
Tamuka in lane 1. Matthew Behan, Chen Zhang Ang, Josh Hawkins, Nick Andrews, Tatsuki Abe, Tetsuro Nishi, Taylor Willis and Todd Bradshaw.
Yes, it's going to be good. We've got Masaki Tamuka and Todd Bradshaw who qualified in the pre-meet. We had so many entrants for it, very unusual for the long hurdles, but look for Josh Hawkins in the middle, Taylor Willis on the outside there, who's the form horse, but we've also got Tetsuro Nishi and Matthew Behan, who are both very quick, so it could be anyone in here, and clearance of the hurdles will be the key.
Masaki will be warm. He's been over in the long jump.
Yeah, so yeah, obviously nationally ranked decathlete, based here in Christchurch. Picked up a minor medal in the national decathlon in Dunedin last week, and yeah, long jumping and hurdling here today.
So the top personal best time of this field is Nick Andrews, who's in lane 5. He's gone in 13.59 seconds, but as Craig was alluding to earlier, almost this entire field, 7 of 8 of the 9, I think, under 14 seconds. So hard to pick.
Yeah, and hurdles, again, very technical. You hit one of the hurdles a little bit too hard or clip it, it can take you off your rhythm. That's a big part of it. And they're down into their blocks, so we're looking for a bit of action in the middle. Nick Andrews, he's not raced too often yet this season, and like I said, we have Taylor Willis in lane 8, who is the form horse with the win in Melbourne just 10 days ago in a very fast 13.69, which was a new personal best, but it was windy, so over the wind allowance was slightly over.
Here we go.
Oh, and there's a break there, and that might have been Josh Hawkins.
Josh Hawkins, yes, in lane 4 in the black.
And Matthew Behan is signalling airs and sound, so there could have been a little bit of wind and noise there. We'll wait and see what the judges say. Hopefully it's not a false start, but just what they call an unfair start, where there's some noise or disturbance which reflects them, and the judges are quickly chatting away.
Here's the replay of that potential unfair start, and lane 4, Josh Hawkins out of Auckland City Athletic Club. So, all good. And take 2 of the Group Web Design men's 110 metre hurdles. Last year's champion Masaki Temuka in lane 1, closest to us here on the inside.
So no DQs, the whole field is still intact. So a little bit of wind out there, possibly creating a little bit of havoc with the speakers behind them, where they're getting the commands and obviously the sound of the gun. Here we are in the long jump. And that is a big jump by Hibiki Suha. He looks pretty happy with it. We'll catch up on what that distance was shortly while we wait for the 110 hurdles to go. 7:47 for Suha in the long jump.
So it takes him to second, time being, behind Koki Fujihara. He's gone 7.60. In fact, Josh Hawkins walking out of the line now. Not sure exactly what's going on. I'll have to get Sarah Cowley-Ross to investigate out here, but maybe it's just sort of seeking clarification as opposed to a DQ as Josh heads back to his lane.
He may also be running under protest, as in an athlete can protest that they disagree with the judge's decision. They run the race and then they look at rather than holding everybody up, they run the race and then they look at whether there should have been a DQ, and they void the time later on, but you get to run in the race anyway, and I'm sure that's what Josh should be doing. He has been given a red card by the looks, but it may be red and white. He's still there, so I imagine he has voiced that he will run under protest. So that'll be for the officials to sort out afterwards. Meanwhile, we get to see a race with one of the, and this is one of the most top-class hurdle fields outside of the major games we've had in New Zealand. It's a number of low 13-second runners in here from many different countries, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see what the times are.
So Temuka, Behan, Chen Zhang Ang, Hawkins, Andrews, Abe, Nishi, Willis, and Bradshaw on the outside. The Group Web Design men's 110 metre hurdles. Take 2. Clean start. No.
Another flinch that time. I think a lane over from Josh. So plenty of nerves out there for the hurdlers. We'll do a quick recap and see where we are in the women's triple jump. And just while we're waiting to go back to there, so we have Maoka Takashima from Japan leading with 13.61 in round 3, which is getting right up there. She's
a new meet record.
New meet record. Her personal best just over 13.80, so pretty close to that. But Kayla Cuba from Australia also out over 13.40. And a red flag there for, I think it's Liam Adcock in the long jump. Desley Owusu also out in the 1340s. Then a little bit of a gap back to Annabelle Parmigiani of Australia, 1281. Hannah Collins. Now that is a round 2 massive personal best.
I was about to say
12.44 metres. So she'll be absolutely wrapped with that. She's jumped just over 12 before, but she has really extended that, and it's fantastic to see young New Zealander just out of secondary schools competing with these international athletes, and yeah, massive personal best. She'll be very, very happy with that.
Let's update you too on where things stand in the men's long jump. There are those results thus far from the women's triple jump. So Maoko Takashima in front.
The wins are all legal too, so legitimate distances, which the athletes love. They've all got slight tails there.
And there is the standings on the men's long jump. Koki Fujihara still in front after 2 attempts with 7.60 metres. Shay Veach.
They're back into the blocks again in the hurdles. Third time lucky. Third time lucky. Everybody's still in the blocks. We're not sure of the protest or disqualification status, but we have got 9 runners and 9 lanes on the start line. Running down the back straight here at Nupunawai. Fantastic setup for Athletics Canterbury, where they can run home or back straight depending on which wind favours the athletes, so they should have a slight tail down here. That time they're away clean. Caleb Willis on the outside, Arby coming through, Josh Hawkins coming through the middle as well. Ang is in there, Hawkins, Caleb Willis clipped one there. Whoa, very, very close for first and second.
Between Abe and Nishi, I believe, in lanes 6 and 7.
And with Josh Hawkins taking third, which he'll be pretty pleased with. See quite what happened to Nick Andrews there. But it looked like, yeah, Nishi and Abe and Caleb Willis were all through there, and Josh Hawkins as well. Those times will come up shortly.
Abe is the one with the biggest smile on his face. Tatsuki Abe in the blue singlet. He was in lane 6. Previous current personal best heading into this one of 13.64 seconds. So wait. The result there, the unofficial result, just filtering through, and it is Tatsuki Abe who hit the line in first in a time of 13.71, and Tetsuro Nishi 13.73. That is a New Zealand.
And the following wind, 2.0 metres per second, the highest allowable wind there is, and that has carried Josh Hawkins to a New Zealand resident record.
Okay.
Knocking 1/100th of a second off his previous New Zealand resident record recorded last year in Wellington. So we'll obviously have to have the official times. The cameras will be looking at it, and hopefully there will be no rounding up. He's at least equalled it, but it looks like a New Zealand resident record to Josh Hawkins in third with 13.93 seconds.
Yes, and the unofficial times, but 4 runners under that 14-second barrier in Abe, Nishi, Hawkins and Caleb Willis of Australia, which is all under the meet record, the previous meet record I should say, of Josh Hawkins in 2022. And I see Sarah Kelly-Ross was down there at the finish line. We'll get to Sarah shortly. She looked like she had Tatsuki Abe. We'll even see if she can nab Josh Hawkins as well. What a start to the track program.
Wow, yeah, New Zealand record in the very first couple of track races, and meet records in both hurdles. Very good start. We've seen personal bests, first New Zealand record of the day, and some fast times, meet records, stadium records. It's pretty awesome start, all right, and looks like we're here switching back to the long jump. Kaylin Paranihi on the runway. Nice, plenty of height takeoff on there. We'll wait for the flag.
Okay,
looks
we
like
go here.
it's going to be white.
There are those times. Unofficial at this point, but the men's 110-metre hurdles brought to you by Group Web Design. 4 runners under that 14-second mark. The winner is Tatsuki Abe of Japan. As Craig mentioned, Josh Hawkins, New Zealand resident record. Is it potentially a national record? I've got 13.67 here. So
the New Zealand national records are by a New Zealander anywhere in the world.
Yep. Fastest time by a Kiwi in New Zealand
is the resident record,
yep.
and Josh is just. It was his own record, but he's clipped another 100th of a second off that. I'm sure he'll be happy with that. And you know, anytime you get a New Zealand record, it's a bonus.
100%. Hopefully, get the thoughts of Josh Hawkins and Tatsuki Abe shortly as we head back to the men's high jump. Adam Stack.
Oh, he's cleared that easily. Very, very happy. He went over that very well. Just see what height we're at.
2.06, I think it might be, Craig, but we'll confirm that in a second. It looks like we're not too far away from heading back to Sarah Cowley-Ross as Tia Wynyard set to go for another attempt in the high jump as well. Might just stay here. No, we will go to Sarah, and it's a dual interview with
I have
Abe
the
and
winner
Josh.
of the One Group Web Design men's 110-metre hurdles here, all the way from Japan, Tatsuki Abe. Congratulations, 13.71, your second fastest time. You're happy to be in New Zealand.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm very fun, and this year, first race, but second best ride running. Thank you.
Great. And you're based in the Gold Coast for the Southern Hemisphere season. What is your next race?
Sorry, I'm not understand. I'm not doing. My friends, Yuki.
Okay, so I'm told that Tatsuki is based in the Gold Coast for the summer, Australian-New Zealand summer, and he'll be heading over to Sydney shortly for another race. I have on my right here New Zealand resident record holder Josh Hawkins, our national record holder, but today, finally, New Zealand resident record holder. How does that feel?
Yeah, no, I'm so stoked. When I saw the lineup, I was like, oh, this is the perfect setup for a fast time in New Zealand. So most of the time I'm going to Oz or overseas, so it's so good to have the boys come over here and run with me. So yeah, I just rode the momentum off that. Probably a little too hard over those hurdles that I hit, but yeah, I'm happy.
It seemed a much cleaner race for you, though, over the last few weeks. You've been so close to sub 14. How's training? Did training indicate this kind of performance, I guess?
Yeah, no, training's been going well. Over the last couple of weeks, I've just kind of been hitting hurdles and races and stuff like that. So I just try to this week I was like, we're just going to try to get through clean and be aggressive. And I knew that it was going to come, especially with these guys running fast. So yeah.
Well, you're a long-time supporter of the ITM, Josh. It's great to see you out here. What happens for the rest of the season for you now?
I'm not too sure over the next 2 weeks. I've just been fried with travel and competing, so I might take a rest week. But Sir Graham Douglas, maybe, Nationals, and hopefully Sydney Track Classic. So, yeah.
Well, game on in the men's 110-metre hurdles. Great to have our Japanese competitors here and also the Australians pushing our Kiwi Josh Hawkins to a New Zealand resident record, 13.93, the men's 110-metre hurdles.
Cheers, Sarah. Yeah, fantastic start to the track action here at the International Track Meet. It's Ngā Punawai in Christchurch as we head back now to the long jump and the triple jump, men's long jump, women's triple jump.
So Felix McDonald's just had a jump there.
Measuring up, but best so far of 7.20.
I think he'll be reasonably happy with that. Of course, we've got more than 8 competitors in the long jump, so after this third round they'll recalibrate, and the top 8 will get another 3 jumps from 8th ranked down to 1st, and we'll see the big boys really get going. 7.10 for Felix McDonald in that one. Getting close to his season's best. And in the high jump, we're starting to get up into the greater heights. Ooh, very narrow miss there. We're up at 211 now, I think. So yeah, up to 211 in the high jump. We're down. That was Ryo Sato missing his first attempt, and just looks like, well, 4 competitors that have cleared the previous height, 206, but a number of the Japanese haven't started yet. These gentlemen that routinely jump in the 220s, so they'll many of them will be coming in probably at 216 to get their first jump.
Season's best too for Adam Stack, that 2.06, just 2 centimetres shy of his PB.
Yes, if he clears this 211, that'll be a new personal best for him, and he'll be pretty happy with that, I imagine. It looked like he cleared the last one by a long way, so in good shape. One of a number of athletes who train with Old Boys United with the coaching crew. James Sandilands, Terry Lomax, Hamish Kerr is in that group. Keely O'Hagan, who will appear in the women's high later. Oh, narrow. I think he knew he had that a little bit. Adam will be looking to get that barrier. He's not too disappointed. He'll be back for another attempt shortly.
Yeah, the clearance at 2.06 coming off his 3rd attempt, so he's just living a little dangerously, but he'll take a full amount of confidence from that for sure.
Some of the other results, we had Michael Kennelly from Hong Kong going out at 206, so with a clearance of 201. Jaden Williamson also at 201, and Tia Wynyard with a 201.
So of the Japanese crew who are yet to have an attempt, Tomohiro Shino and Takashi Ito as well, who have both gone, both have PBs in that 230, 231 range. So some of our men's shot putters, I believe, in the background.
Men's and women's shot putters coming out for their warm-up, and that's a good clearance there. A little bit of a touch, but he's over.
Speaking of the men's discus, in terms of the field events, not too far away. Just got underway.
Yes, I would think this may be the first competition throw. They've been out there warming up. Oh no, still warming up. No markers going in just yet. We have the children's relays coming up, but the high jump underway, and this
Naota Hasegawa
accelerates in and clears that. We gave it a little clip, but he cleared it by a long way.
Looked like he was that happy with it.
Yeah, I think he's thanking the crowd. Just got a little bit of a touch on there, which he won't have liked, but he's got a first-time clearance. Naota Hasegawa at 211, and first-time clearances is what these gentlemen are after. Liver there in the men's long jump. That is Liam Adcock there, and he needed that. He had 2 fouls leading into it and has pulled out on his 3rd jump, which would have been his final jump if he'd failed again, a 7.73 to take the lead, so 7.73 for Liam Adcock. He's taken the lead from Koki Fujihara, with Hibiki Suha in 3rd with 7.47. So 7.73, 7.60, 7.47 are the leaders. Shea Veach, New Zealander, in 3rd place at the moment, 7.34. And the top 8 will get another 3 jumps. nice easy clearance in the high jump there. These really, I guess, big jumpers from Japan will be using these couple of early heights as their warm-up, and then they're going to come in and hopefully jump in the high 220s, or we might even see a 230 today. So that'll be what we're looking forward to. Meanwhile, the shot putters all getting into the circle, get their warm-ups going as our first of our children's relays gets underway on the track. Just give you an update on the women's triple jump shortly. Discus Owusu has hit the front, 13.64 metres, so that's increasing her meet and stadium record and taking the lead from Maoko Takashima, 13.61, so only 3 centimetres between them. And we see Ryo Sato back to come in. Going through 211 pretty comfortably. So first time clearances. So Takashi Ito 211 first jump, cleared it easily. Sho Katsuda came in at 206, 2 first time clearances. Yuto Siko first time clearance at 211, and Noto Hasegawa 2 first time clearances at 206 and 211. And that's a much better attempt. I believe that's Ryo Sato.
Back to the women's triple jump, brought to you by Bremke.
Selena Withnell. Stretching, reaching out to get into the pit there. And that was Ryo Sato on the last one, getting his clearance after missing at 211 first time. So number of first time clearances. From the Japanese, as we would expect at 211. Most of them, or all of them, have jumped well into the 220s.
And Liam Adcock taking the lead too in the men's long jump with 7.73 metres as we go back to Adam Stack at the high jump. Another attempt at 211.
Oh, well, that was close. I'm sure Coach Terry Lomax will be out there watching that. We'll probably get some comment from Terry in here later on. 211 will be a personal best. There's Hannah Collins in the triple jump, personal best earlier in the competition at 12.44. She's got a white flag there, so we'll wait and see. She doesn't look as happy with that one.
A model of consistency though there from Hannah Collins between 12.15 and 12.44, that new PB mark.
And a changeover. We missed the jump, but Maoko Takashima back into the lead. Has jumped 13.70 to take the lead and the meet and stadium record, 13.70 metres from Discus Owusu. So they are going tit-to-tit.
And that was 12.39 to complete the set for Hannah Collins in the women's triple jump.
Well, she looked a bit disappointed with that, but if she hadn't jumped 12.44 earlier, that would have been a personal best. So setting high standards for herself, obviously. So we've got Annabelle Parmigiani jumping her last round, 12.81, her best so far.
Currently in 4th position, the Australian.
Nice work. Good long hop. Bit of air time on the step and then stretching into the pit.
The shot putters just warming up. As we go back to Adam Stack, this will be the 3rd and final attempt at 2.11, which would be a new personal best.
Well, he's got it there. He was very close on those first 2 attempts. Still relatively fresh. He started at 2:01 on purpose, probably so that he wouldn't be too tired by the time he reaches these personal best heights. Oh, just maybe a little bit too close to the bar, but very good competition from Adam. He'll take a lot out of that heading into nationals in a couple of weeks. He's right, very, very close to his best. And so 6 competitors remain, the 6 Japanese,
as
expected. The bar will move to 216 now. So another 5 centimetre jump before a 4 centimetre jump to 220, and this will be when the action starts heating up in the high jump. Desley Owusu looking to get back the lead, and that is red flag. Just overstepped. It was big. It was big. Not sure how far she was over at the front, but she was definitely determined to try and take the lead back. As we point out, not only the distance counts for the points, but the placing. So actually having a win gives you 10 more points, 60 points as compared to 50 in the schedule. Here's the replay of that very determined high stepping, just a slight overstep at the front. On the board, she's in, left foot hop, extends out, big step, red flag's already going up behind her, however, must have been narrow, very big extension. She was happy with the jump, and then she sees the red flag. Most disappointing thing for any horizontal jumper, turn back, you think it's a good jump, and you've stepped over fractionally.
And Kayla Cuba as well of Australia with a foul with her 6th and final attempt, which does mean that the winner of the women's triple jump, brought to you by Bremka, will be Maoko Takashima, who has one more attempt to come, but a best of 13.70.
Yeah, she'll be looking to extend that. So not only the win with the points, but the larger distance she can get, the better. She has a personal best of 13.82, so only 12 centimetres outside that. We'll look to see what she can do in the last jump and see if the crowd is getting behind her there.
I'll tell you what, 7 centimetre improvement, and she'll equal the New Zealand all-comers record set back in 1997.
Wow, yes, hadn't even thought of that. Cynthia Rhodes of the USA back in 1997 on the North Shore, so hopefully we'll switch to Maoka for her last jump and see if there's a chance of that. Yes, it just didn't get his run up quite right, jumping into the bar for the 216.
Rio Sato.
And that was the triple jump. We've just seen it on the other camera of Maoko. So we'll wait and see what the result was for that. She looked relatively pleased. Here's the replay. Storming in. Long step. Long way into the pit. Looked like a white flag. And another 13.64, so very consistent. 2 fouls, but 3 jumps between 13.61 and 13.70. I'm sure she'll be happy with that. And very near to a season's best, and a win in a bronze level competition that will no doubt improve her world rankings somewhat. And every field eventer wants to be in that top 32 for Paris later in the year.
We go back to the represent footwear men's high jump.
Caught it with his heel.
So the bar is at 2.16. And that was Naoto Hasegawa.
Just clipping it with his heels. And of course the clearances, and whether they clear it first time or second time, as we see Matt Denny, the number 4 ranked thrower in the world for the discus, warming up out there. First time clearances will affect them in the countback, which affects the points as we go through.
Yeah, first opportunity to discuss the men's discus, brought to you by Spectrum Print, but Matt Denny and Lawrence Okoye both with personal bests in excess of 68 metres. There's going to be some duel as we head back to the high jump, and another failure at 2.16, and a bit of disappointment. And these Japanese, what is a 6? I was thinking quintet's 5.
Sextet. A sextet perhaps. Yeah. Yeah, having a little bit of difficulty with 216. This should be relatively easy for some of them. Remember, of course, they're coming out of their winter. Some of them have been competing in the Japanese indoors. Tomohiro Shino competed in Melbourne the other night, so has been down in the Southern Hemisphere for a little bit.
So Sato, Hasegawa and Katsuda with misses at 2.16. So Ito, Seko and Shino to come. And there's our first success at 2.16, I believe. And that was Tomohiro Shino in the yellow shorts, who does have a personal best of 2.31 metres. So we head back to the men's long jump. And as things stand, Liam Adcock in front with a best of 7.73, the Australian.
And now they'll have reseeded them in the opposite order, so they'll go 8 through to first now as they compete. And Tomohiro Shino, as expected, first time over 2.16.
Still Takashi Ito and Yuto Seko to have their first attempts at 2.16.
I think that was Yuto Seko that just missed it there, just looked like he clipped it with his calves. And in the men's long jump, we have
Kaylin Paranihi.
And then we'll shortly go to the, that's the B Women's 800 lining up on the track in the background. Kaylin Paranihi, very happy to have made the top 8.
So he was the 8th qualifier with a best of 7.01. Unfortunately, don't have the PB information for Kaylin, but as you mentioned, Craig, you'd be delighted to be in that top 8 of a field with a fair bit of international presence as well, and Liam Adcock. There is Matt Denny, the Australian, in the discus.
And we do have a result for William Steadman in the paralong jump, which is in there with that, in 5.47 metres. Now, I believe that it might be his personal best. We have him down as a program as a 5.35 personal best, but that was when entries closed 2 weeks ago. I believe last weekend he may have extended that, but still a very good jump for William. He'll be very happy with that. And we have Masaki Tamuka on the runway.
Best so far of 7.03 for Masaki Tamuka, and not happy with that one, and just pulls out prior to the jump.
Get the women's 800, B800 in if we can. It's just the B race, but if you can switch.
And back to some track action. This is the women's B 800 metres, I understand, Craig.
Yes, it is. Some of Canterbury's young talent there. Tilly Hollier, who recently won the New Zealand 3,000 metres title, is pacemaking both 800s actually. She's doing this as a bit of a workout. So she's pacing the B800 first. She's aiming to go through in about 66 seconds and get them through to 600. Behind her, Amelia Henstock, South Island Secondary Schools champion, Bryn Gordon, another good young runner from the Port Hills Club, coached by James Ansell, Gabby Newman in there, Elsie Cito at the back, and they are going through looking to get personal bests. They'll be looking to go under 220, and Tilly's going to take them all the way to 600. So Amelia and Bryn just need to follow her to 600 as well as they can. She's breaking the wind, setting a good pace for them. And we'll see Tilly again in about 15 minutes' time pacing the A race as well, where she'll be going a little bit quicker than this. She's stretching out, looking to pull them along. Amelia Henstock chasing her down the back straight there. Bryn Gordon still in close contact. She's better known as a 3,000 metre runner, and Tilly's got them through to 600 on good pace. So let's see what happens as they head around that last bend. Bryn is chasing hard. Amelia, second distance is 400, has probably a slightly better kick. Bryn, stronger pace. And they're coming into the home straight just on 2 minutes. Amelia with a personal best of 2:16. A little bit of a headwind down that home straight. She's got the arms pumping. Representing the University of Canterbury Falcons. She's going to go all the way through. 13, 14, 15. Just over a personal best. Bryn Gordon under 220 as well with an unofficial 2:19.33. Gabi Newman there, that'll be a personal best for her, about 2:24, 2:25. And Elsie Cito from Port Hills. So some great running there and a chance for those young athletes. nearly all of them juniors apart from Garby, a chance to rub shoulders with some of the greats out there. And shortly after this we'll see the men's B race, nearly full field, and then the men's and women's A races, some top class fields. And we're here in we're away in the Discus, Masateru Yugami from Japan through the circle. They still be warming up there, the officials. No, they've given the white flag, but he's walked out the front there. I don't know if he's too happy with that one.
All you Japanese people are saying that to me.
So we've got Shea Beach on the long jump runway here.
Very short.
Shea currently sitting in
short, sweet, then you
4th place with the best of 7.34. All 3 jumps today in the 7:30s. But he'll be looking to go much further than that, put it all together and
That's great.
get right up close to that magical 8 metre mark. Great run up, aggressive, attacking. Up off the board and stretching out.
Kiwi. He's our best Kiwi.
He's just dropped one foot slightly soon there. See, 1 foot slightly behind the other. He really wants them both landing together. He'll be having a word with Coach Mike Beeble about what he can do to correct that in his next couple of throws. Next couple of jumps, sorry, we're talking jumps. Of course.
So much on, isn't there?
Yes.
The ITM, your jumps, your throws, your runs. It's all go.
Ma'oko? Yeah.
And I'm going to get to Sarah Cowley Ross in a short moment, but it looks like the shot put lineup as well. Nick Palmer. And Holly Robinson there to Nick's left, another one of our accomplished para-athletes involved in the ITM.
Kirsty McCarthy-Dempsey, local junior, throwing the weights. Natalia Rankin-Chatar, New Zealand representative at the World Under-20s.
Let's go to Sarah.
The winner of the Bremcar Women's Triple Jump today. It was a hot competition, but Mayako Takashima from Japan, the winner today, 13.70. Congratulations. How did it feel?
I'm very happy. So thank you for all cheering people and competition people. Thank you for all people.
13.70, you were saying to me it's your third best ever jump.
Food?
1370 metres, your third best ever today, so you must be happy.
Yeah, must be happy.
So all the way from Fukushima to Christchurch, congratulations to our women's triple jump winner today, Mayako Takashima.
Cheers, Sarah. As we head back to the track, it is the International Track and Field Trust Men's B, 800 metres. About to get underway before the Lion Foundation Women's A 800 at 2:30 in about 5 minutes' time.
And another good lineup here of some of our New Zealand talent. Matt Taylor stepping down a distance in the inside lane. He's a former New Zealand cross-country champion. Also a sub-4 minute miler, so has a little bit of speed. Darian Sarori from Whippets. Chris Dryden next to him will be pacing the race. He'll be looking to take them through in about 56 seconds just to get them all started. But we've also got in there Louis Howe from Port Hills, who ran a personal best 155 last weekend, and Nicholas Alvarez Ray Varag from the Hill City University Club. And it's Louis Howe and Nicholas Alvarez who are dropping into second and third following the pacing of Chris. They really want him to get as far through. Matt Taylor into third. Those are the three class runners in this field. Louis was a really talented junior, first year senior now. Like I said, personal best last week. Chris Dryden, more of a 10,000 metre runner. He'll be at full noise here just to keep going, but he'll be trying to hit 56 and keep going for as long as he can. It'll be a maximal workout for him over 400 or 600. Louis Howe tucked in behind Nicholas Alvarez, Matt Taylor in third, Darian Sarori back there, Alex McCorkindale from University, Pi Wynyard, so the brother of Tia Wynyard, who was in the high jump a little bit earlier. Ollie Young from University in there as well. And Alex Callagher looks like he might have scratched. So Chris Dryden pulls out there at 500. He's got them going. Louis Howe still leads. Alvarez, Ray Varag out there. Matt Taylor, he's the distance strength man. He's going to be wanting to keep going. Darian Sorori moving through. Alex McCorkindale, he's also got a strong finish. The tall man from the University of Canterbury Falcons. Louis Howe leads. Ray Varag on the outside. Matt Taylor looking for a gap to get through. There's a bit of wind around that bend. They come into the home straight. And Matt Taylor's going to launch from the outside. Ray Varag's going with him. But Matt Taylor looks like he's got it. Here comes Sorori, though, coming from a long way back. Has he got the strength? Matt Taylor is at full noise into that headwind. Here comes Sorori. Ray Varag in there. They're going to be personal best here for Matt Taylor. 155 is his PB, and he's gone under that. That'll be a huge PB for Sorori as well. I think personal best all round for the first 3 or 4 there, and all of them under 2 minutes, bar the veteran Alex Kelleher coming in at the back there. So an exciting finish. Matt Taylor putting it all on the line, and meanwhile we'll get the results of that up shortly before we head to the back to the high jump. So 155.58 for Matt Taylor, so fractionally outside his PB. Darian Sorori, personal best for him, 158 down to 156.19. So he'll be happy. Nicholas Alvarez Ravarag, so he did run, this is faster than his listed personal best, but he did run a 156 something last week. Alexander McCorkindale is a 157 man, so he's run very close to his personal best there. Louis Howe 157 again after doing a bit of work down the back straight. Pai Wynyard dipping under 2 minutes, 159.04, just about 12 hundredths of a second outside his personal best.
And back to the men's long jump we go with Masaki Tomuka.
And it looks like he's a bit more pleased with that than his last jump where Masaki ran through. So he's having a look at the measurement, so he must be wanting to know what that is. He's got the white flag up.
Penultimate attempt, best so far is 7.03 to sit in 8th position. Liam Adcock still with the lead. He fouled with his 4th attempt in 7.73 as we go back to the high jump now. This battle between the Japanese jumpers, I believe now, are at 2.20. We've had successful clearances from Takashi Ito at 220 and Yuto Seko at 220.
And that was Naoto Hasegawa just missing at his second attempt. Tomohiro Shino missed his first, and he'll be having his second attempt shortly.
Back to the long jump with Lewis Arthur.
Just overstepping at the front there. Even from this angle, looked like he was well over the mark, so a foul called.
There are the standings, and the long jump, still Adcock in front. So we go back to the high jump, the business end of the high jump.
And there's a clearance there.
We might catch a replay of that one from Tomohiro Shino, who does have the best to the personal bests, 2.31, so that was relatively comfortable. So he joins Takashi Ito and Yuto Seko in successfully clearing 2.20. That was with his second attempt though, Tomohiro Shino. So Takashi Ito and Yuto Seko actually with identical records. Had a first up failure at 2.16 before advancing, and then straight over at 2.20 as we now head back to the long jump. Shea Veach.
He's got the crowd going with the claps. Very aggressive run up. He's looking for a big one.
Currently in 4th position. White flag goes up.
Looked like he was well behind the board that time though. He'll be wanting to hit that board. The board's about 20 centimetres wide. And so I don't know if he'll be entirely happy with that. Wait for the distance to come up.
His best so far came with his first attempt at 7.34 to sit in 4th position. Liam Adcock leading, and in fact he has improved his best there, Shea Veach. Not to the point he's able to go up the standings, but 7.38 to sit in 4th position. As we head now to the Lion Foundation Women's 800 metres. Let's get our field up here.
Got Holly Manning there, former New Zealand champion, but from the inside, Rosa Twyford, University of Canterbury, young Neve Motley, you'll note the name there, in lane 2, Stella Peerless in lane 3, Samantha Lascelles, 3rd in the New Zealand Secondary Schools, lane 4, Holly Manning, New Zealand champion in 5, Rebecca Green, who's just run a personal best over 5,000 in Melbourne 10 days ago, seeking a fast timer over 800, Poppy Healy, talented young Wellington junior, in lane 7, and then Tilly Hollier returning after her pacemaking in the B800, 5-minute break, and now she's going to run another 500 or 600, but a little bit quicker than what she ran in the B race. So she's aiming to take these ladies through in about 61, 62 seconds through the bell. So we'll see what they can do and form a bit of a chain, and hopefully we see a slew of personal bests. There is a little bit of wind out there, but they all look ready to go, and it'll be interesting to see what Rebecca Green can do. Of course, as a younger athlete, she was exceptionally talented over 800, 1500, tends to be more of a 1500, 5000 runner now. And they're away first time, Tilly Hollier on the outside. So they run 120 metres in lanes before they break on the back straight. So Tilly will be looking to take them out. Poppy Healy on the inside of her, Rebecca Green, tall blonde figure of Holly Manning, Stella Peerless there, Rosa Twyford. They're the talents, the senior talents in the field. And then we have the youngsters, Samantha Lascelles and Neve Motley, trailing at the back of the field. Poppy Healy, a little bit of jostling as they merge in there. Tilly's taking them out nice and quick, exactly on pace by the looks. Holly Manning behind her, Rebecca Green, Stella Peerless, Poppy Healy, Rosa Twyford coming around Poppy Healy. Then we see Samantha Lascelles and Neve Motley. And pretty good pacing, maybe a fraction quick from Tilly Hollier, but she's creating a train for them to come along. Holly Manning there, Stella Peerless and Rebecca Green. Well, of course, Rebecca Aitkenhead now, married just a few weeks ago, but has kept her racing name for some tracks. But and Tilly Hollier through just on 60 in the pack, through on 61.5, exactly what they asked. And then we have Samantha and Neve Motley stepping off the track there, holding him out, a bit of a cough. And Tilly Hollier still leads, dragging them out. They haven't really gone with her. She's setting a good pace. And now we see what happens on the back straight. Stella Peerless moving up on the outside. Holly Manning stretching her legs. Rebecca Green making a bit of a move. She doesn't want to leave it to a kick. Her 5,000 metre speed, probably not as much, but she's hit the lead there. Tilly's going to get them through the 600 right on 132 as asked. Rebecca Green in front. Stella Peerless into second. Holly Manning in third. Rosa Twyford actually sticking in close. Now, she ran a solo 209 a couple of weeks ago at the Canterbury Champs, but it's Rebecca Green who is striding away there. And now Holly Manning coming around Stella Peerless to have a go at her. But Rebecca Green, I do not think she'll be caught from there. She's got the arms pumping. She's got the 5,000 metre strength. Holly Manning's coming at her. Stella Peerless there. Rosa Twyford in fourth. But Rebecca Green's going to hold on for the win, and about just over maybe 206. So Rebecca Green from Holly Manning, Stella Peerless, Rosa Twyford, and then Samantha Lascelles just pipping Poppy Healy for 5th and 6th. And we'll wait for those times, but what a run by Rebecca Green. So they look pretty happy with that. Rebecca, 2:06.53 is her official time. So that's her fastest 800 time for many years. She's been running 1500s miles, and like I said, a personal best 5,000 metres just 10 days ago in Melbourne. So 2:07.39 for Holly Manning, 2:07.99 Stella Peerless, Rosa Twyford 2:08.66, Samantha Lascelles 2:12.29, and Poppy Healy 2:12.64.
That is the women's 800 metres, as we might see if we can catch an interview with our winner, Rebecca Green. Maybe head back to the men's high jump as well, which is just coming up to concluding. Plenty to come still on the track and in the field. The men's triple jump with the Olivier brothers not too far away. At 2:45 that gets underway. It looks like Sarah does have our winner, Rebecca Green, so we'll get a comment or two from Rebecca right now. In fact, let's get to Sarah Kelly-Ross.
I'm here with the Lion Foundation winner of the Women's 800, Becky Green, formerly Becky Green, now Rebecca Aikenhead. First of all, congratulations on your recent marriage.
Thank you.
And how did that feel out there? 2 laps, a bit shorter than last week in Melbourne?
Yeah, definitely a lot shorter. It kind of goes so quickly that you can't sort of almost relax into it. You just have to go. Yeah.
You've had a great season so far, Becky. Last week a PB, as I mentioned, in Melbourne over the 5,000 metres. When are we going to see you over 1,500 metres next?
Next weekend in Canberra, I'll do the Canberra Track Classic, and then Sir Graham Douglas the week after the Nationals.
And what was the wind out there like on the home straight for you?
Yeah, it did get a little bit windy, but I'm used to Dunedin's pretty windy too, so used to it, yeah.
Well, congratulations, Rebecca Aikenhead, winner of the Women's 800 metres here at the International Track Meet 2024.
Cheers, Sarah. Let's go back to the men's high jump, which is very much at the business end. Here are the up-to-date standings, and it is Takashi Eto in front, 2.30 metres. And Tomohiro Shino also over
224.
224, sorry. I was going based on the
best.
graphics.
Yeah,
but,
personal best,
yeah, 224, excuse me. We're about to go at 227, but that is, I believe, certainly as a meet record, and not far away from a stadium record set as well by Hamish Kerr back in 2020. Hamish, of course, part of a 10-strong New Zealand squad about to compete next week at the World Indoor Athletics Championships in Glasgow.
And we've got Yuto Siko there about to have his second attempt at 224. And if he clears that, the next height will be 227, which is getting right up there. Oh, just got a little bit close to the bar, sort of hit it on his way up. He won't be happy with that. He might need to adjust his run up, and we head to the bronze men's 800 metres. It'll be a very exciting race here. We have pretty much the cream of New Zealand-based middle distance talent in this race. Russell Green's pictured there, finishing second last year. He's in the race again this time. But we've got Ethan Smolay, University of Canterbury on the outside. Cooper Whiteman, a 16-year-old who has been smashing the record books. Nicholas Cowan already qualified for the World Juniors. Of course, New Zealand's Sam Tanner, better known as a 1,500-metre runner and miler, so he's after a fast time. 20-year-old Australian Luke Boys, some of the viewers will have seen him chase James Preston down the straight in Melbourne the other night. He ran a personal best 1:46. Just behind Preston. James Ford, also an extremely talented junior, has run under the world under-20 qualifying mark of 1:49.5. Then we have the Whippets duo, David Lee and Russell Green.
And there's just those unofficial times of the women's 800 metres we just had with Rebecca Green winning in a time of 2 minutes, 6.524 seconds. Now it is the men's 800.
Guns up. Right, pacemaker in this race. We have Jordan Veach, 400-metre runner in the Christchurch Boys High gear. He's stretching to the lead there. He's looking to take them through in about 51 and a half seconds. See Luke Boys, the Australian, tucking in behind him. Sam Tanner with him. James Ford, Thomas Cowan. Those are the four fastest in the field with their personal best, but there's a bunch of young men in here looking to go under 150 for the first time, which is sort of the step into senior ranks as you go. So Jordan Veach leads. Luke Boys in second, Tanner tucked in behind him in third. James Ford, exceptional 400-metre runner as well, won the 400, 800-metre double at the National Secondary Schools in December on this track. Thomas Cowan, Ethan Smolay, Cooper Whiteman, the 16-year-old talent, and that's perfect pacing for Jordan Veach. He's going with them and steps off, and Boys takes over. Tanner's with him, Ford with him, Cowan in fourth, Cooper Whiteman, a little bit of a gap. If James Ford can stay with these guys, he is going to run a massive personal best. Boys still leads. Tanner is at full noise down there. He'll be hoping to stay close and use his 1500 metre strength. James Ford tucking the inside line. Behind them, Cooper Whiteman, Nick Cowan, Ethan Smoley, Lee and Green. And Daniel Prescott, the miler, he is sticking with them as hard as he can. Right out the front, Boys still leads. They've extended the gap from Ford and Cowan. But in first place, Luke Boys into the straight. Sam Tanner, this time he's had the ride behind, and what has he got in the home straight? He's had a good run and he's going past. Sam Tanner coming through. This will be a massive personal best for Tanner. 42. Great run. Great run. That is a massive personal best. Cowan comes through from Whiteman. Green, Lee, Ford faded a bit after the aggressive start. Prescott is going to have run a massive personal best in there. Well, what a race.
Well, Sam Tanner's PB in the 800 was 1:48.35, and the unofficial time there, Craig, 1 minute 46.14, blistering, 2 seconds off.
Well, look, he will be absolutely wrapped with that. That is far greater than, that it augurs so well for his 1500 metres to run a time, 1:46. We had James Preston running 1:46 flat in Melbourne the other night. And here's Tanner striding through. He'll be absolutely wrapped with that massive personal best. Boys, 1:46 again. Cowan and Prescott. Thomas Cowan has run 1:50.26, but Cooper Whiteman, fourth place, 1 minute 50.46 seconds, 2 second personal best, 16 years old.
Phenomenal.
16 years old. Phenomenal result. Russell Green taking fifth, 1:51.04. David Lee, 51.37. Ethan Smoley, 51.66. James Ford, 51.73. And Daniel Prescott doesn't run many 800s. Was expecting or hoping to run under 1:55. Well, he's run 1:52. So, fantastic run.
Let's go to Sarah Kelly-Ross with Sam Tanner.
Winner of the Financial Independent Men's 800 metre Olympian. Lactic apparently has just hit him. Sam Tanner, 2 second PB. Talk us through that.
That was pretty fun. Two lapses. Oh man, too short. But it's fun. It's good to have a hit out. Young Aussie boy is amazing. He's a good runner, and so it's kind of felt him push pretty hard with 200 to go. I was like, oh man, I gotta go. I just followed him, and then the wind did me a favour, I think. Did him a bit of a disservice, but it's great to have some competition over here.
Well, you've got a wise head on your shoulders, just tucking in behind him there till that last home straight. But you finished and you said to me you want to go mountain biking. Well, talk me through that.
Oh, I'm staying with a mate and he's going mountain biking after this, so I was like, sweet, this is done, now I can go mountain biking.
Spoken like a true distance athlete there, Sam. You've had a busy few weeks. You've raced all over the country, popped over to Australia as well. What's ahead of you for the rest of the New Zealand domestic season?
We've got just nationals coming up. I don't know what I'll end up doing, but definitely the 15 and either the 5 or the 8 or something, but see what the coach says.
And in between, some mountain biking, some surfing. A happy Sam Tanner is a fast Sam Tanner, I've heard your coach say.
Yeah, the surf's pumping at home, so I'll go home tomorrow.
Hey, well, it's awesome to have you out here, Sam. You're leading the charge in men's middle distance running. Congratulations on the PB today, 800, and we'll see you back in action in Nationals in a couple of weeks. Sam Tanner, winner of the men's 800 metres at the International Track Meet. He's off mountain biking.
Cheers, Sarah. Let's go straight back to the men's high jump. Just 2 competitors left. It is Takashi Eto versus Tomohiro Shino. Both successful at their first attempt at 2.24. The bar set now at 2.27.
So this is Ito on the runway next.
Maybe as we wait for that first attempt, I believe the men's long jump has concluded. And Liam Adcock, well, he had 5 fouls, but 1 success, and that's enough. 7.73.
That's all it takes
to win the NZ Sock Company men's long jump over Hibiki Suha and fellow Japanese athlete Koki Fujihara in 3rd place. Shea Veach, best of the New Zealanders there, in 4th with a best of 7.31. 8. Here comes Ito at 2.27.
Oh, and that's his brother who's watching over on the far side. He was competing earlier, and he'll be giving a little bit of feedback there. They're looking to really get, if they 227, add the bronze points to that, they are getting right up in the 230 equivalent, which will move them up in the world rankings a fair way.
Hi, my name is Tomohiro Shino. I'm from Japan. I'm high jumper. I am happy to compete in New Zealand for my first time. I'm feeling good and excited for today's meet. はじめまして、私の名前は新野智弘です。走り高跳びをしています。明日の試合は、初めてのニュージーランドなのでとても楽しみです。調子もいいので、頑張りたいと思います。Thank you so much.
It is Tomohiro Shino. We caught up with prior to the meet, and we can inform you he's gone clear at 2.27.
He'll be very happy with that. Was talking to him yesterday. He was unhappy with his performance in Melbourne. It was a bit cold and wet, and the jumpers, they like it to be warm and dry. They don't have to worry about their footing if the track's a little bit wet. And look, personal best of 231. 230 is the next progression. And Takeshi Ito, after missing at 227, has passed his next 2 attempts. So in an attempt to win the competition, he'll be looking to get a first-time clearance at 230 because Shino has cleared 227 first time, so it's a head-on countback. So they'll be looking for the height, but also, like I said, for the placing for those bronze points. Meanwhile, the shot put is also underway, so we might just check and see how they're going over there. In the men's, after 3 rounds, Nick Palmer leads with 19.48. He is looking for that 20. He's been peppering 19 metres over the last few competitions, and he's looking to get that 20 metres. Harrison McGregor, the junior from Tauranga, thrown 15.54. He's still looking at World Junior qualification, but throwing the bigger weight, the 7.26 today. And Cameron Moffat, the decathlete, out to 14.90. That is a massive throw. That's a massive personal best for Cameron. Personal best is in the 13s, and he's gone out to 14.90. And then another schoolboy, James Moore, also a very talented junior, out to 14.88 with the heavier weight. And it looks like Natalia Rankin-Chittar, who's been winning all of the local Grand Prix. She's up against a bit of international competition today. She's out to 15.73 already, and that was her 3rd round attempt. We'll get a distance on that. But Natalia Duco from Chile leads with 16.22 metres. Grace Tennant from Canada in 3rd with 15.57. So we'll... this is Grace into the circle now, but we're switching back to the high jump. They're at 2 metres 30.
Just behind the tent there is Tomohiro Shino, I believe. Emerging a second at 2:30, which is just a centimetre shy of his personal best.
Just hit it with the shoulder on the way up. Yeah, so he'll be looking to clear that. His 231 was jumped at the World Champs, where he placed in 8th in Oregon a couple of years back. And we've got 6 of the Japanese high jumpers here, but there are 2 others. They have 8 men currently over 2 metres 24. So not only is there competition for points and placings for Paris for them, but they need to be in the top 3 in their country as well. So huge depth in Japanese high jumping at the moment, as we see Ito, first attempt at 2:30. If he clears this first time, this will take him into the lead on, take him into the lead as a clearance of 2:30, but with Shino missing his first attempt, this will put him ahead in the countback rates as well. So going through the motion, visualising it, probably has a few key words to talk himself through it. See his mark on the track, which will be the start of his run-up. All runners following all jumpers following a bit of a routine. They'd want to be jumping off the same point. Nice rhythmic run-up. Oh, very good attempt. You can see his brother in the background willing him over. Not quite there.
We'll come back to the high jump, but we'll send it back to Sarah Kelly-Ross, I believe the winner of the men's long jump.
I'm here with the winner of the men's long jump today, Liam Adcock. Great to have you back in New Zealand, but first time in Christchurch, 7:73 today. What was it like out there? I know you've struggled a little bit with that red flag.
For sure, yeah, that's probably the worst run of fouls I've ever had in a competition. So started off with the 2 at the beginning, and I was a little bit sketchy, so slowed it down, tried to get one out there, and with the wind I ended up pushing the 773 in the 3rd round and just trying to jump far and kept going over. So maybe the takeoff area isn't a bad idea. I don't know.
So you did mention this new proposed rule by World Athletics. What's the feeling about, essentially going back to the rainbow board that you had in children's athletics within the long jump community?
It seems like everyone's kind of against it from what I've seen so far, and to be honest, generally I'm good at steering, and then today, I mean, maybe I'm not. So I like the idea of having the skill of actually having to steer yourself in and having that limitation to get as close as you can, because it is good, but then again the sport's about jumping as far as you can, so I could go either way. If they do it, cool. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So.
Well, we saw you last year in action at the Sir Graham Douglas meeting, and you had a great night there. You and Shay Beach had an awesome battle. I heard you're coming back, so what's the plans after Auckland, moving on for the rest of the season?
Yeah, definitely keen to head back to Auckland, hopefully about to get some on the board there. And then we're going to go to Sydney track, which is 2 weeks after. Then we've got the Nationals, and hopefully I can do well there and head to Oceania Champs. And then obviously, if all goes well, over to Paris for the Olympics. But we'll see how we go. I've got to obviously get behind the board first. So.
Well, you need those white flags, and you got the one that mattered at today. But congratulations on your performance today, and we'll see you in Auckland. Winner of the men's long jump here at the ITM.
Thanks, Sarah. Let's go back to the men's shot put, men's high jump, and Shino at 2:30. Second attempt, yeah, not far away. So as things stand, Tomohiro Shino in the lead with a successful clearance at 2.27.
Now it'll be the turn of Ito. He's going through his visualisation.
Second attempt at 2:30 for Takashi Ito. Oh,
so close.
Agonising, isn't it? In fact, that was
the second
his
attempt.
second, sorry, but with the 2:27.
Yeah, 3rd consecutive miss, so he's out of the competition. So successful clearance at 2:24 places him in second, so he'll pick up some valuable bronze points there. So now it's just Shino, he's won the competition, and here we have on the runway, triple jump, the New Zealand record holder, Ethan Olivier, born in Auckland, lived there till he was about 8. Now he is a resident in South Africa again, but here for the first of 4 competitions in New Zealand. He wants the crowd going. Can we see a record first up? Look at that run. Wow, good first jump. Never shows too much on his face, Ethan, but he looks relatively pleased with that. He's out to 16.16 in the first round, so he's already broken the New Zealand resident record if that was wind legal.
And that one at 16.66.
Oh, well, is that 1 centimetre? 1 centimetre outside the New Zealand record. We just wait for a wind reading on that to see what the wind is. But here at the high jump, last attempt, Tomohiro Shino, 2 metres 30. Crowd on the bank is going. Oh, he just glanced it. Fantastic attempt. He's very happy, I think, with the 227. Improvement from what he did in Melbourne. He'll be a little bit disappointed with the 230. Not getting 230, but he's right close to it. We see the female high jumpers ready to warm up in the background. Here is the New Zealand champion, Scott Thompson. Out there for a good jump. So well done by Tomohiro Shino to take the win in the high jump and the triple jump. Ethan Olivier out to 16.66. If the wind is under 2 metres per second, then that will be a New Zealand resident record.
Let's hear from Ethan Olivier, we caught up with before the meet.
Hi, I'm Ethan Olivier. I'm a triple jumper for New Zealand. I currently hold the national record, and I'm looking forward to competing today and hopefully bettering the record and improving my chances of competing in the Olympics. And I'm looking forward to visiting places in Christchurch and enjoying New Zealand.
His brother Valray Olivier currently in 3rd position. In the early stages of the News Talk ZB triple jump. And his best Valray at 16.14. So we've already had 3 athletes over 16.
Julian Conley from Australia. World Champs representative for Australia. He's jumped in the high 16s. Talking to him earlier, he was really looking forward to the top competition here with the various nations, with the Olivier brothers, with the Malaysian champion, and with his compatriot Aidan Hinson, who won here last year.
And that takes him to 3rd, 16.18.
Proves on his first round, but they'll be looking, they want to be up over that 16.50 mark for sure.
You see in the background there the women's long jumpers also being introduced to the crowd. Here is Aidan Hinson of Australia.
He's the defending champion. He holds the meet record and the stadium record at 16.72. Ethan Olivier is certainly going to be challenging that.
In 2nd position at the moment, Aidan looks pretty happy with that. 16.25 with his first attempt.
Gives a little fist pump there. I think he's quite happy with that. So we'll wait and see. We're not getting the wind readings yet. There is a little bit of a breeze out there, so it might be gusting slightly over 2.0 for record purposes, but the athletes will certainly just be looking for the distance more than anything else.
So we've actually got some wind readings through from Sarah, and 2.8 and 2.6 for the first 2 attempts for Ethan Olivier.
So we see Harrison McGregor, the junior, throwing the senior weight, but he's getting it out there 15, 16 metres. So those 2 jumps from Ethan, they won't count for record purposes, being over the 2.0, but they're certainly still very big jumps. Certainly looks like the wind is, all of the readings are between sort of 2 and 3.3, so they'll just be wanting it to drop just a fraction so they can get those legal jumps in. And here we have Nick Palmer. He's looking for that 20 metre mark. I think he's passed around so that he's fresh, so he's ready to pump it out. Let's watch him go. And he's just stepped out the front there of the circle with a foul. He still leads on 19.48 from Harrison McGregor, 15.54. Cam Moffat with a massive personal best, 14.90. James Moore, 14.46. And Nathan Salupo from Samoa, 14.12. The women's competition, Talia Duco still leads with 16.22 from Grace Tennant, who was out to 16.04 in the third round. Natalia Rankinchita in third. And
15.73 for Natalia as we go back to the triple jump. Yuki Yamashita.
Oh, and that is a very good jump. So they're all coming off the 13-metre board. So they're getting a good 3-4 metres into the pit. So let's have a look what that was for Yuki. 14.22 for his first jump, which is well below his best, as we saw Kirsty McCarthy-Dempsey, talented young junior from the Canterbury region, throwing there. And Yamashita has improved by over a metre, out to 15.54. That's getting a lot closer to where he'll be looking. Next up will be Valray Olivier, the older brother of Ethan, but a very good triple jumper in his own right. So you see a wide view of the shot put there, the competitors waiting. It is fantastic. So two young men in this field, Harrison McGregor and James Moore, sitting there in the tent. James Moore still a schoolboy at Christchurch Boys High. Very, very good shot putter. And here we have Valray Olivier. His brother's cheering him on too. The clap's going. Friendly rivalry, definitely. They said yesterday they just concentrate on their own performances and celebrate whatever may happen. And Valray's gone a long way in. He's up, and he's a bit of a showman. Registered with the Pakuranga Club, those boys. So Pakuranga better know it for its middle distance and long distance runners, but
it's a bit unconventional, wasn't it, the way he entered the sand there on the knees? But
not sure he was quite happy with that, but he'll be looking for the distance. And then we might go to a pre-recorded interview with Valray shortly. 15.45 for that jump.
Hi, I'm Valray Willifeed. I'll be doing the triple jump today, hoping to break the national record, take it back from my brother, and hoping for that 17 mark.
So Valray Olivier in fourth position as things stand. The best is 16.14. And now it is Andre Anor.
Here's our Malaysian jumper.
PB again over 16.
Wow, that was a very, very good hop. Might have been slightly short on the step. It's a legal jump. Not too much emotion being shown. These gentlemen really want to be out over that 16.50 and as close to 17 as they can get. So we see Christina Ryan, who's competing in the women's long jump, going across there.
Back to the shot put.
Here's the leader from Chile, Natalia Ducot.
And around that 16-metre mark, her best so far of 16.22 to lead the competition. Just 18 centimetres ahead of Grace Tennant of Canada.
Yeah, very close. Those two young women have very close personal bests. So they'll be looking at, and here we have Ethan Olivier. He wants that record. He'll be hoping the wind isn't quite too high, but any distance is good. So 16.66 so far, 1 centimetre from his New Zealand record. And wow,
oh, that looked good.
He nearly stepped into the pit there. That is a fantastic jump. Very, very good jump from Ethan Olivier. That is a long way into the pit. Nathan Salupo from Samoa into the shot put circle. Rotational thrower. Trains with Shaka Solar, with the Solar Power Group in the hut in Wellington.
And that looks like an improvement on his best so far of 14.12. We'll wait for confirmation there, but we will go to another one of our pre-recorded interview with our shot putters, Grace Tennant of Canada.
Hi, I'm Grace Tennant. I'm from Keister Centre, Ontario in Canada. I throw the shot put, and this is my first time in New Zealand, so I'm very interested in exploring the city, whether that's Christchurch, and then I travel to Auckland later in my trip. Honestly, the tour, it's a part of the Continental. It's a bronze meet, and I've never been here, so as soon as I was presented with the opportunity, I thought it was a great reason to travel and compete. My goal is to throw far and have fun doing it.
And here we have James Moore, still a schoolboy, wearing the Christchurch Boys High club and school uniform there. Only just recently stepped up to throwing the 7.26. He's normally a under 20, 6 kg thrower. And Ethan Olivia has gone out over his New Zealand record distance of 16.67 with a massive 16.79 jump, and we're just awaiting the wind reading on that. Needs to be 2.0 metres per second or less, but we need that wind reading, and then we'll be able to confirm whether or not that is a New Zealand record. Big jump by Ethan Olivia, getting very close to that 17 metre mark, which will qualify him, or will get very close to qualifying him for the Olympics. The automatic qualifier is 17.22 metres, but he'll be shooting up in the rankings, and he's still a junior. He's still eligible to go to the World Juniors in Peru later this year, which is after the Olympics. He said yesterday in the press conference that his aim is to be in Paris and then go to Peru afterwards. It's about a 3-week gap, and compete in the World Juniors as well, and that would be fantastic.
So when you were talking earlier about that top 32, where is he at the moment in terms of those numbers?
I think he's ranked. So he was in the rankings earlier last year for the World Champs, and just missed it going down the roll down. That was when he jumped 1650, 1660. Okay. So he's right in that top 40, 45 in the world. And obviously the closer he gets to the 1722, the higher he goes in the rankings, plus the bronze points. We can't forget what the bronze points are worth in the triple jump. It's the equivalent of probably 30 centimetres more, which takes him to the equivalent of the 17 metre jumpers. So Ethan jumping right up there.
Let's send it down to Sarah Cowley-Ross.
Well, I'm here with the winner of the men's high jump in a scintillating 2:27 jump, Tomohiro Shino. Congratulations. Are you happy with your jump today?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm happy, very happy.
So today you told me that you have the exact same birthday and you're the exact same age as our New Zealand national record holder Hamish Kerr. It's a pity to not see him out here today, but he is on his way to World Indoors. You've competed against him a number of times, you were saying.
What?
You and Hamish have had a good competitions.
Good luck. Hamish, good luck.
Very good. Our winner here today, Tomohiro Shino from Japan, winner of the men's high jump 2:27.
Cheers, Sarah. As we turn our attention back to the track, this is the men's B 100 metre race. And just caught my eye on one of the other cameras there. I think Nick Palmer thrilled with an attempt, and he's
got it. He has got it. He will be so excited. That is a world-class throw from Nick Palmer. He's been threatening for months to jump to hit over 20, and he's gone 20.06, so he'll be jumping up and down. We may get a shot of that later on, but right now we're with the B100. Look for the action in the middle here. Felix McDonald, who was earlier in the long jump in the 100 metres, is the fastest in this field in the middle of the track. Next to him, Hunter Scott, talented young junior from the Canterbury region. And we have a number of very good runners, and they're away early. Felix McDonald starting to come through the middle, and he is the class of the field. And Felix McDonald's going to stride away with this. Hunter Scott, a little close lean, so photo finish for second, third and fourth, but Felix McDonald easily the winner in the end, so he'll be very pleased with that. He was entered in the 200 metres originally and requested and changed to the 100, and looking for a fast time, has a personal best around the 10.8 mark. They are running down the back straight, so they will have a tailwind, and wow, 10.51. But the winds come through straight away on that, plus 4.8 metres per second, so it won't count for legal purposes, but that is definitely the fastest that Felix McDonald has run, so he will be wrapped with that. So the wind has picked up a little bit out there. We know in the triple jump, many of the early jumps were just slightly over the allowable 2.0. But there's some great sprinting and jumping going on there.
A fair few meet records, stadium records being set here this afternoon. For those of you just joining us here on the stream, Sam Tanner, the new PB in the 800 metres. Some really encouraging signs. Obviously his preference is the 1500, but 146 for Sam Tanner. And then young Ethan Olivier, waiting on that wind reading, but to go to where he is cleared 1679 in the men's triple jump so far. As things are heating up, that wind obviously might have a say in some of these records, some of these events, but and there's the confirmation there too of Nick Palmer's first time over 20 metres in the men's shot, 20.06.
Now we head next to the women's B100. Now also on that, in the inside two lanes, we have two para-athletes. Sarah James in the wheelchair and Danielle Aitchison in lane 2. Now Danielle was within 1/10 of a second of the world record a couple of weeks ago in Hamilton in the 100 metres, and then broke the world record in the 200 metres. Unfortunately, the timing system failed. It was just a hand time, not the electronic time that she required. So, yeah, we'll be looking for the times for Danielle as well as she comes through. But in the men's there, we have the B grade men's. Felix McDonald with a 10.51. Josh Adegoke took out second, 10.86. Ryan Schott of the two Ratonga boys, 10.92. And we see Christina Ryan in the long jump, better known as a heptathlete, but she's run right through there. Just a bit of a glitch with the run-up. Obviously, it is very difficult for the athletes when the wind is too strong. But looking at this field there, we have Sarah James on the inside, Danielle Aitchison next to her, then Kate Borton, Jordan Blake, Sienna Wright out of the South Canterbury club, Michaela Feety. Right, and here we have another world-class jumper, Brooke Bushcool, formerly Brooke Stratton. She has been an Olympic top 8 finalist twice. The Australian long jumpers jumped over 7 metres. The class of this field, she said anything today with a 7 in the front of it would be fantastic for her. So just starting to open up her season. Look overly happy with that result. So we have James Aitchison, Kate Borton, Jordan Blake, Sienna Wright, Michaela Feety, Lily Morrison from the North Canterbury Club, Eden Innes from the Selwyn Club, and Freya Ferro from the Hill City University Club, whose older brother Seb is in the men's A100 a little bit later on. You can see the little marker in front of Danielle Aitchison, so she has a light to help her. Sarah James in the wheelchair will take a while to wind up, but will come through the field towards the end. A little bit of moving and flinching there in the wind, so just be set again. Liz heading from Australia in the long jump there. Big clearance. Lily Morrison from North Canterbury, still very young, still competing in the children's 14-year-olds, extremely talented young sprinter out of North Canterbury. Green card for everybody, so there's obviously a bit of wind or noise there at the start. Hannah Sandy lands on the runway. Multiple New Zealand medalist in the long jump, but we go back to the B100 start. And they're away early, and it's Jordan Blake showing out early. She is the fastest in this field. She's leading the way. Michaela Feety coming through in second. Lily Morrison, the 14-year-old from North Canterbury on the inside, just may have taken second. Jordan Blake, the easy winner from Lily Morrison, then maybe Michaela Feety and perhaps Kate Borton over on the far side. So we see Sarah James and Danielle Aitchison coming through. So Blake striding away from them, better known as a 400 runner, but also very classy over 1 and 2. And that'll be a photo for second place. We'll await the official results from that, and we'll also have a look at Danielle Aitchison's time. And it's a 12:02 for Jordan Blake, which is a personal best. I suspect the wind will be a fraction strong, and yes, the wind's come through at plus 2.6, but that is very fast. Lily Morrison in 12:32, and Sienna Wright got up there for third, 12:33, which will be one of her fastest times as well. Might be a mix-up with the camera there, so I'm pretty sure it's Michaela Feety who was up there further, but we'll just cut away now for a quick interview.
Have you in New Zealand, 65.71, that's a good outing for you today.
Yeah, it's not too bad. We were expecting a bit further, but obviously just couldn't get the flights. But it was nice to, I guess, I mean, we didn't have Connie here, which was a bit disappointing, but all round it was a good international comp as well, and it's nice to be back in New Zealand again. So.
Well, it's great to have seen Connor over the last couple of weeks across the ditch, challenging you, and also, the likes of Lawrence Okoye also in the field today, another 60 metre plus thrower. You mentioned as well that you love throwing in Christchurch, and you're going to actually do some training throws now after the competition.
Yeah, well, I think I didn't find what I was looking for today, so I think, go utilise the atmosphere and the time here while we're here. So, go out the back, have a couple more throws, and then, it was nice to have competition with Connor. Like, it's crazy how quickly men's disc in, Oceania has turned around from, having a big gap between a lot of people, and now you have competitions where there's 5 or 6 over 60, so it's nice to have that competitiveness. And obviously I was on the bad end of Connor beating me, but it's good to be competitive. So
yeah, it's great to be competitive, and you've led that charge, with your performances at the Olympics and World Championships, obviously Commonwealth Games champion as well. But you're also leading the charge, off the track as well. Roommates Rant, it's a podcast between you and your mate Brandon Stark. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, it's just nonsense. No, Stark and I.
Aussie nonsense.
Typical standard Australian podcast, I think. But no, it's Roommates Rant. Brandon and I started it about a year and a half ago now, and this year's going to be pretty fun. We've kind of changed the format, more about Olympics chat and how we're prepping for that, and a bit more, in depth, not just how good are the highs and how good's all this. It's actually what goes into the whole process of prepping for an Olympics, as well as just everyday life and heaps of different discussions. But we've just had a recent episode and then another episode next week, so come check it out.
Yeah, well, you heard it here from the man, Matt Denny, winner of the men's discus today. Great to have you here in New Zealand. Check out Roommates Rant, and the winner of the men's discus, 65.71, 3 centimetres off his season best, but you'll see him later in the year in the international stage, just like today. Winner, Matt Denny, ITM 2024.
Cheers, Sarah. So we head back to the track. 100 metre action to come.
Now we have had a few changes in here with a couple of scratch-ins. So Nick Andrews from Australia is in lane 1, who recently ran the hurdles. He's also been included in this field. Tommy Tapuni from New Zealand scratched with a hamstring injury earlier in the week. But in the middle, we'll be looking for the 2 Japanese competitors, Taju Hongo and Hiroto Fujiwara with 10.12 and 10.21 personal bests. Look, also Lex Revel-Lewis, better known as a 400 metre runner, but has recently been lighting the track up over 200 metres, which he'll also run in later on. Hayato Yaneto has been included in the field up from the B race, and Sebastian Ferro on the outside. There's the women's B100 results, so just over the allowable wind plus 2.6. Jordan Blake with the 12.02. Now, the official time we have for Danielle Aitchison, 13.61, so under her New Zealand record, but unfortunately the wind just too strong at plus 2.6, but obviously in great shape. And Sarah James from the New Brighton Club, a wheelchair racer, in 18.90 seconds. Again, faster than her previous best, but just a fraction too windy. So we see Samantha Dale there, great slow-mo replay of her long jump.
So 6.40 for Samantha Dale. She's currently in third position. Elizabeth Heading heads up the women's long jump field after 2 attempts with a best of 6.42 as we go back to the men's triple jump. Valerie Olivier, and red flag goes up, so that one won't be measured. His younger brother Ethan Olivier in the lead with a best of 16.79. So we take a look there at the standings. So Ethan Olivier in front over Aidan Hinson of Australia. Julian Conley, a fellow Australian, there in third position. And Valerie Olivier in fourth. So we go back to the 100 now. The men's 100 metres brought to you by Trade Direct. And from left to right, closest to us there, Sebastian Ferro in lane 9. Hayato Yaneto in 8. Lex Revel-Lewis. And then the 2 Japanese sprinters, Hiroto Fujiwara and Taju Hongo. Shaveach, Kiwi, Ryan Noom, Troy Middleton and Nick Andrews.
So great to see Nick Andrews changing it up. He probably wasn't too happy with his hurdles where he finished 4th, and looking to make amends in the 100. We'll look for the 2 Japanese out front. I'm sure they'll be the clear favourites, but the nearly entire field is under 23 in the hundreds. We're following through, and we're looking for some fast times and personal bests, and hopefully a wind of under 2.0. And they're away very fast first time. Fujiwara leading from Hongo. No, it's Hongo from Fujiwara. Oh, he's run away with that hamstring back there for someone. Lex Revel-Lewis just about got up for second there.
Yeah, rather Noom, unfortunately,
Yes.
with the hamstring issue. But Taju Hongo of Japan, as we wait the times, has won the men's 100 metres. That's unfortunate. We'll take a look at the replay here.
Got up striding tall in the last 20 metres. He has just gone away from the rest of them. And Lex Revel-Lewis, and on the inside, Nick Andrew actually may have got in there. We'll wait for those times. Will we be going to Discus after this? Yeah. Once we do this. So we'll just wait those times and the wind reading. The wind reading, we can tell you, that's come up first, is plus 1.3. So legal wins. There is going to be a slew of personal bests in here, I'm sure. Hongo, 10.22. Hiroto Fujiwara, 10.50 in second.
And that's a new meet record, eclipsing the mark from last year. Tian Welton.
Lex Revel-Lewis, 10.52. That is another tenth of a second off his personal best. Shay Veach with a 10.58. That is a personal best for him by a long way as well. Sorry, Nick Andrews with the 10.58. Hayato Yaneto, 10.58.
Let's go back to the men's triple jump, brought to you by News Talk ZB, and Ethan Olivier in front, 4th attempt. Looks pretty happy. White flag goes up, and they'll measure that one. A best so far of 16.79 to lead the competition. And that one's improved on 16.79, 16.85 for Ethan Olivier, the Kiwi, based out of South Africa, is in tip-top shape. As we now go back to the 100 metres, women's race. And there are those times confirmed in the men's 100, taken out by Taju Hongo of Japan in a time of 10.22, 1.3 wind reading. And we've had a change in the commentary with Craig Motley stepping away. He's going to try and find some wind information on that men's triple jump. And Dale Stevenson joins me here in the position. How are you, mate?
Pleasure to be here. Nice to be back. Yeah, very well, thanks.
That's the
what a
way.
day. Lovely day out at Puna.
Yeah,
It's always like this, I hear.
What's your focus this afternoon? A fair few athletes in the field?
Yeah, look, I'm off duty now. I had one in the women's hammer and then one in the men's discus. So I've managed to step away from the fence and come and enjoy the beautiful live stream, beaming out around the world, see what's happening on the track, and then we've got the women's discus about to fire up as well. So hopefully provide some insight around that. But yeah, lovely to be here.
Lauren Bruce looked like in good form, happy with how she went.
Yeah, season's best today, which is a step in the right direction. She's got competitions each of the next 4 weekends. So it's the start of a pretty busy month for her. So to kick that off on the right trajectory is always nice. And then we'll look to go further and further over the next few weeks, culminating in the New Zealand Championships in Wellington.
So we wait for the women's 100 metres here, brought to you by the Christchurch City Council. Might have had a late withdrawal in the middle, and I'm wondering if that's Ella Connolly of Australia. It's hard to get the exact read there from my vantage point, but yeah, it might be. It was down in lane 5, Ella Connolly. So
Does look like we're down Ella, but we've got a fairly strong field as they settle into the blocks here.
So we've got Mei Kodama of Japan in lane 4. PB of 11.37. Clean start underway, and it looks like Kodama there with a good start. Portia Bing, though, nice striding into her work. And on the outside, it's Ebony Lane who's going to take out the women's 100 metres. Brought to you by the Christchurch City Council. The Australian in lane 7. And we'll wait the times there.
You look like a strong run from Lane. She's been training strongly. We've seen her down at the track. She's a Melbourne-based athlete. And part of their 4x1 squad that's coming together strongly, and obviously challenged by the likes of Zoe Hobbs and Tori Lewis and some of the bright stars that we've got in New Zealand and Australian women's sprinting at the moment, but she's done a fantastic job today.
Yes, unofficial time through, and I believe that's a new personal best. 11.27 seconds for Ebony Lane. Shaves 600ths of a second off her PB, so she'll be thrilled. Mei Kodama of Japan, 11.52. Portia Bing, that's a personal best as well in the 100 metres for Portia, 11.53. To round out the podium in third, Arisa Kimishima of Japan in fourth, 11.66. So 4 runners under that 12 seconds in the women's 100 metres. Stephanie Power, 12.02. Georgia Gibbons and Amelia Fairclout rounding out our women's 100 metres. Let's send it down to Sarah Cowley-Ross, who I believe has the winner, Ebony Lane.
Winner of the Trade Direct men's 100 metres today, Taju Hongo, all the way from Japan. Congratulations, 10.22. Are you happy with that?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much.
Great to have so many Japanese competitors here. This is your second time in New Zealand, though, isn't it?
Yes, this is my second time. Last year I came here for the first time, and this is my second time. And Christchurch, I came here for the first time.
Well, it was great to have you in the men's 100 metres and so many of your fellow Japanese athletes here in Christchurch today. Do you have a message for your friends at home watching in Japan?
Can I say it in Japanese?
Yes, yes.
日本の皆さん、本郷タジュです。 無事予選を怪我なく終えることができました。タイムもかなりいいので引き続き頑張っていこうと思います。引き続き応援よろしくお願いします。Thank you very much.
Arigato, Taju. Winner of the Trade Direct Men's 100 metres, Taju Hongo from Japan.
Cheers, Sarah. As we take a first look for the day at the women's discus, brought to you by Spectrum Print. I want to actually get an update in the men's discus because obviously Dale will be well and truly across that. We had Matt Denny, Lawrence Okoye in the mix. Matt Denny taking the men's discus out.
Yeah, he did. It wasn't his best day out there. Pretty fairly strong assisting breeze. The discus throwers like it, blowing into their face. And they certainly got that today, but probably no one really made the most of it in terms of catching the flight. It'll be interesting to see how the women handle it when their event starts shortly. But yeah, look, a solid day for Matt. He's been fairly consistent around that 65 metre mark across all three of his competitions this season, but kind of finding it hard to throw much further, but hard to throw much less. There's plenty of horsepower there, which is nice for this time of the year, but the job's ahead of us to try and refine that into a bit of a pointier edge as we approach the bigger competitions towards the middle of the year. But yeah, a nice foundation. 3 comps at 65 metres to start the year. Yeah, he's very solid for Matt. He'll go back into training now, back to Brisbane, take a few weeks to breathe out before the Australian Championships. But yeah, it's been nice to get over this side of the Tasman, and some nice results too for our travelling British athletes in 2nd and 3rd respectively. Lawrence Okoye, 63.30 for 2nd place. And Nick Percy, who's battled a bit of illness in the last week, he managed to get a 62.94 out there, and he'll jump on the plane tomorrow with a smile on his face. Other visitor over 60 metres, Robbie O'Tale from the US, 60.44 in round 1, and then didn't quite manage to sneak up on that for the rest of the competition. But to have 4 athletes over 60 metres in this competition is fantastic, and I know Connor Bell as well will be watching with anticipation on the live stream. So congratulations to Connor on his strong start to the season, and we look forward to many more battles between those athletes in the discus circle. But there's plenty of action still going on here. The triple jump,
yeah, we might try and get back. Yeah, might try and get back to the triple jump, because Valray Olivier is now nipping at the heels of his younger brother Ethan, and he's just gone into the sand at 16.33 metres. Now, some intel there from Craig Motley as he stepped away from the commentary position that the wind is varying between this 1 metre, anywhere between 1 and 3 at the moment. 2 is the legal mark, and in fact Sarah Cowley-Ross has just flipped me a message as well that 16.33 from Valray Olivier was within the legal wind reading, whereas the set from his younger brother Ethan have gone 16.66, 16.79 and 16.85 all weren't. So yes,
now of course for
Ethan,
context, the 2 metres per second assisting wind is the limit for record purposes.
That's what I was
But as far as the competition goes, it's fair game. So some of these jumps happen to be measured slightly over the 2.0 and some slightly under. It just depends on the exact timing of the jump. But as far as the competition goes, we've got a real ding-dong battle heating up here as Julian Conley's trying to get the crowd revved up here. Another travelling Australian. Currently Australian sitting in 3rd and 4th. He's going to try and add his name to the mix.
Here comes Conley. Best so far of 16.25, and not happy with that one.
A little bit out of rhythm there, and yeah, he'll go and gather his thoughts, perhaps have a chat to Andrew Murphy, arguably the busiest man in Australian athletics, coaching half of the Eastern Seaboard, and then we'll anticipate jumps here from the top 3. It'll either be one of the Olivier brothers or it will be Aidan Hinson, another Melburnian product, who'll take the runway next.
So just to wrap up that wind reading discussion, with the Valray Olivier attempt at 16.33 was legal.
That's correct.
And that is a New Zealand a New Zealand residence record, I believe. New Zealand residence record. So
just to differentiate, the residence record is the record that's jumped in New Zealand by a New Zealander. So that's the differentiation there. The New Zealand record itself can be jumped anywhere in the world, in any ratified competition. And then there's the other one of note is the all-comers record, which would be the best performance in New Zealand by anyone from any country. So if you hear those terms, that's what they're referring to. But the best jump by a New Zealander in New Zealand is the residence record, which has been set today by Wellray in round 5 of 16:33 with a legal wind. So they're the jumps that we're looking at. We want at 2.0 or less meters per second assisting wind for those record purposes. And I reckon we could be in for some fireworks here in the last round as those boys are really starting to push each other along.
Yeah, Ethan still with his penultimate attempt to come. But that, for context, that New Zealand residence record has stood for the best part of 6 decades.
Wow.
David Norris, back in 1965, of 15.94 metres. So, yeah.
Dave Norris, a legend of New Zealand athletics. So, wow, all records are made to be broken, but that's a cracker to have off the books. So congratulations already, with a couple more to come as we cross back to the long jump runway here. And we can see the boys really trying to get the crowd. You can see some synchronised clapping. It looks like they've done that before. And we're underway here in, as you say, the penultimate round. This is Ethan, who currently sits in first place with 16.85. Rhythm looks good. Timing looks strong. Let's go to the tape. The white flag's up. We're going to have a legal measurement here. Legal in terms of the board. We don't know the wind reading just at this time. We'll let you know as soon as those results come through.
So it is the Olivia brothers in 1 and 2 as we go back to the discus. Tatiana Kamoana.
This looks like round 1 in the women's discus. So Tatiana's had a strong season. Former Christchurch resident, now training back up in the North Island. As we get an update, the distance on that jump by Ethan was 16:31. So he continues to sit atop the standings. And the round 1 throw by Tatiana Kamoana looks like it's just leaked to the left-hand side of the sector, but I can see the EDM mark going in the ground. So as soon as we know any results there, we'll keep you updated. There's been plenty of strong competition in the women's discus recently, with the Maury Plant meet in Melbourne last week featuring a bang-up field from around the world. And they'll be looking to make the most of this assisting wind here today in the circle as well. Tatiana's gone out to 53.56 in the first round, so a very strong start for her. PB sitting at 56.51. So that's under threat today, I would say.
Takes the early lead as well, but some internationals, as is a custom at the ITM in the field. The likes of Ashley Anumba from Nigeria and Taryn Golshuski of Australia. Both have gone over 60 metres.
Yeah, that's right. They look like Nora Moni, who just took her first throw. 58.53 is her PB. Very capable thrower who's been based in the US, ex-University of Houston. And it's been great to have her out here in this quadrant of the world. Very well-travelled athlete who always puts on a good show.
We're standing by for an interview.
Looks like we're crossing down to the winner of the men's shot with Nick Palmer.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick Palmer, a great day, a big day in your life, 20 metres for the first time. How does it feel?
It feels awesome. It feels like a big relief. I feel like I've been pushing this for years now, so to do it and to do it at home is awesome.
How long have you dreamed of throwing 20 metres?
A long time. Ever since I started really thinking about throwing as a career, 20 metres is a obviously a big milestone. It's a big milestone in New Zealand, and like I said, I'm over the moon.
You did mention New Zealand. Well, you've moved up to number 3 all time in the men's ranking list. That will be satisfying. Right now we have our top 3 greatest ever shot putters going at it. Thomas Walsh, one of your training partners, Jack O'Gill. How great is it to have that competition for you?
Yeah, I mean, we always say that New Zealand punches over our weight, and to be able to have 2 in the same training group, 3 in New Zealand at the same time, and like I said earlier, 4th ever in New Zealand with Val to get over 20. We're a pretty special country, I think, yeah.
Well, it's been a big day. How do you celebrate 20 metres, Nick Palmer?
Beers and pizza. Yep.
Beers and pizza.
Yep.
True shot putter. Congratulations, Nick Palmer. A significant achievement in your athletics career today, but it's not the end.
Nope.
It's only the beginning. So we look forward to many more performances over 20 metres. Winner of our men's shot put today, Nick Palmer.
Thank you.
Cheers, Sarah. Thoughts there of an understandably elated Nick Palmer, first time over 20 metres, Dale.
Yeah, welcome to the elite club of 20-metre shot putters to Nick. It's been a long time coming, and he won't stop there. But yeah, fantastic job by Nick. Obviously, the ITM organisation group and as a brand have done a fantastic job of supporting and cultivating New Zealand shot put over the years. And Nick's certainly lent his shoulder to the wheel today and added a milestone for himself personally, but also put on a good show for the meet and the crowd. So well done to him and his team based here in Christchurch. That's a strong first round throw by Babette Vanderput, the Belgian visiting athlete in the women's discus. An update, we saw Nora Moni's first throw before. We can tell you that was measured at 54.81, which puts her into the lead. Very early days, as not everyone's had their first round attempts here, but some strong opening marks from the first 2 athletes there into the mid-50s who'll be looking to push into the high 50s, and potentially even today there's certainly the capability to see something with a 6 in front of it in the women's disc if someone can get a piece of one. We're obviously ticking into the final culmination of the men's triple jump here, which has been hotly contested. We've got 4 jumps to go, and we can assure you that the top 4 athletes are set. Julian Conley sits in 4th. He will finish 4th, but we cross here to Velray Olivia, who's taking his final attempt. He has set the New Zealand all-comers record already today.
White flag up.
White flag up. What are we in for here? I say that looks pretty good off the board. He's celebrating it. He looks a little unsure. You never quite know until they go to the tape, but he's having a peek over the shoulder. 16.33 is his best today, which sits him in 2nd in the competition, but it is the New Zealand all-comers record because his brother Ethan, who's jumped 16.85, was over the
record, sorry,
residence record.
Yeah.
Apologies, residence record. Gee, we're tying ourselves in circles here. We await the number at 16.35, which improves his best performance of the day by 2 centimetres.
Well, we'll await and see if that improves the resident record that he set about 10 or 15 minutes ago in terms of wind reading. But his brother, Ethan Olivier, is going to win.
His brother is going to, well, we don't know that. There's still 3 jumpers left to go.
Excuse me, Aidan Hinson still to come.
He'd be a bit stiff to set the New Zealand residence record and potentially not even finish in the top 3. We don't know what's going to happen here, but let's stay tuned. We'll put a bit of sizzle on this steak now. Let's see what happens in the last couple of minutes here of this exciting men's triple jump competition. Well done to the officials and organising committee who've set the event up for favourable conditions as we round out round 1 in the women's discus.
Yeah, Mika Yamamoto of Japan. And
let's have a look back here. This is Julian Conley in his final jump of the competition. We saw him lose his rhythm a little bit last round. Looks a little grimaced as he comes through on his approach. Not convinced that'll improve his best of the day of 16.18. Here's Taran Golshuski stepping into the discus circle, a 60-metre thrower, seasoned Australian veteran, North Queensland resident, and very capable athlete. Competed at the World Championships in Budapest last year. She's set sail on that one. It looks like a tidy flight. One of the masters of New Zealand athletics, Ian Baird, out there on the spike. He won't miss a trick. He's got it down to the millimetre, and we'll await the measurement in round 1 for Taran.
Go back to the men's triple jump, which is very much at the business end. Final round of our lead competitors as we wait Ethan Olivier, but this is Aidan Hinson. No, not to be.
Not to be today for Aidan. He's going to round out the podium with the bronze medal in today's competition. He'll take third with a commendable performance of 16.25, but he's going to finish behind the Olivier brothers, who've put on a real show today with one still to come.
Yes, Aidan Hinson, who took out the men's triple jump here at the ITM last year with 16.72, just unable to get to those that sort of marked this afternoon, but still in that 16 range, and might be a handshake here, and we might be all done.
I think that's curtains. I think
shoes are off.
Shoes are off. We're thanking the officials. There's handshakes all round as we put a full stop on the very exciting men's triple jump here today, brought to you by News Talk ZB. And Ethan Olivier is going to be your winner with a fantastic jump of 16.85. He thanks the crowd.
Well, that's
very
appreciative. Valray, actually. Shoes off for W. Olivier.
Oh, okay. So are we confirming that Olivier... yeah, okay. So Ethan's definitely passed his last round.
Yeah, he's got the sunnies on.
We can confirm.
Yeah, he's passed.
He's passed the final round, and that's us for today. So a New Zealand 1-2. Fantastic job to the boys and their father who coaches them.
Well, how exciting is it for these two? And as Craig Motley was mentioning earlier, Ethan are still under 20 juniors eligible.
Still juniors eligible, and a New Zealand resident record on the board for him, which is an open record, not an underage record. That's an open record. So congratulations to both of the brothers who are continuing to take that event to new heights, and it's very exciting for them and the community to have some fresh faces and fresh blood coming into the sport in an Olympic year where really the world is their oyster ahead of them. If they can continue that form and leverage it into bigger challenges ahead with the New Zealand Championships coming up, who knows where they'll end up, roll around the start of August. So as we recap the first round of the women's discus, Taryn Golshuski sits atop the leaderboard at 58.31 metres. A lot of very solid marks there. I can tell you everyone's got a valid attempt on the board. So let's see if they can open the throttle here as we roll into the second round. And it's Tatiana Komoana with her second attempt. A very distinguished thrower in her own right. She's a 56-metre athlete at her best, and she's certainly in shape to go at least that here in these favourable conditions at Puna.
Yeah, first attempt at 53.56. And
looked a little low. She's dragging those down the left-hand side a little bit. Let's see if she can make the necessary adjustments. It is tricky, even though the wind is favourable, as we mentioned. If you can fly it right, it's quite breezy across, and for the ladies with the 1 kg discus in particular, it's fairly unforgiving. So you really need to iron out those flights and get it flying nose first. Otherwise, this wind's not going to do you any favours. But if you can do that, it's certainly there for the taking. And if we manage to see one of these fly out and out, who knows where we'll end up as we get some preliminary action from the women's high jump.
Yeah, another really strong field here at the International Track Meet, the Mainland Foundation Women's High Jump. We join the action here in round 3, where Imogen Skelton of Auckland City Athletic Club is in the lead. First successful clearance at 1.81.
This is Erin Shaw of Australia. She's had 2 jumps so far at 172 and 177, passing clearing both of those on her first attempt. This is 181, and she goes clear on her first attempt there again. So well done to Erin. She will join Imogen with a clean sheet so far at 181. I can tell you that after this height, the bar will go to 184, but we have 2 more athletes.
Yeah, this is Alexandra Harrison, another Australian who just got through at 1.77 with her third attempt. So this is her first go at 1.81. The defending champion, Maddie Wilson, has bowed out. 3 unsuccessful attempts at 1.77, but I should say bit of fatigue there after last week. Absolutely cleaned up at the combined national championships. The heptathlete, 6 personal bests, and would have been 7 if it wasn't for a illegal wind reading in the 200 metres. So perhaps can forgive there on the high jump front for Maddie Wilson as Alexandra Harrison clears at 1.81. And nice timing here because Kelly O'Hagan's about to go at 1.81, and we had a chat with her. Might actually just hold here as she just gets through the early part of her preparation. This is a second attempt at 1.81 for Kelly, finished 6th at the Birmingham Commonwealth Games 18 or so months ago. PB on that day of 1.89. This would be an early season's best for Keeley. And able to get that one right. Kind of with the bar. We will catch up with an interview we did with Keeley a day or two ago.
Hi, my name's Keely O'Hagan. I am a New Zealand high jumper, and I'm most looking forward to competing against a really top-level international field while my family and friends are watching.
And back to the women's discus we go. Brought to you by Spectrum Print. And it's the Belgian Babette Vanderput. Round 2. And as things stand, she'll be looking to improve on her effort. 47.81 in the opening round.
This is Ashley Anumba, visiting athlete here in the women's discus, representing Nigeria, PB of 61.98 metres, which is the furthest in the field. Carries some good speed across the ring, but
hits the netting.
Catches the cage on that one, and we saw plenty of that in the men's discus, so we'll just speaks to the challenging conditions there as the athletes try and flight one. And as I mentioned before, I think if they can manage to line one up, there's something to be had there today, but we saw our share of fouls in the men's comp, and women seems to be following the same pattern as we get a lovely slow motion replay here in the women's high jump. Takahashi taking her successful attempt. And we look like, I think we have one more attempt at 181 for Keely O'Hagan before the bar will go to 184. There are 4 athletes clear at 181. Erin Shaw and Imogen Skelton currently sitting with a clean card, no misses. Alexandra Harrison of Australia, who had a couple of misses at 77, but then a first-time clearance at 181. And Nagisha Takahashi, who we just saw the replay of her second attempt clearance at 181. So Keely O'Hagan will have the final attempt at 181 before we move the bar up to 184 for those still standing.
And I think she might have just snuck through. If I get my information correct there, but might just wait and see. Let's have a look at another slow-mo replay.
Determination on the face, eyes on the bar. Yes.
Yeah,
That's a good attempt.
I was glancing at the multi-screens there, and and she loves it. First
Doesn't
pump
she?
there.
Doesn't she? Well done to Keely. She'll stay alive in that exciting competition, and we'll keep you abreast of the developments. It looks like another good throw in the women's discus here by Taryn Golshuski, who's our leader. And her first round attempt was 56.31, and just going off what we saw in the ring there, I'd suggest that's a slight improvement. It is tricky to tell. We don't have any sector markers out there today because we've swapped the sectors around between the hammer and the jab held earlier on, and the discus throwers throwing from the other end. So we appreciate the effort by the organisation committee and officials to assist the athletes, but we can tell you that wasn't quite an improvement. 54.97 was that one. A little deceptive visually there, but we move into round 3 in the women's discus.
So we'll be trimmed here after this round, a field of 12. So we'll be top 8 from here.
That's correct. Yeah, top 8 will get 3 further throws for a total of 6.
Just 15 centimetres separating 1 and 2, Golshuski and Noramoni. So
looks like a foul for Nanaka Kori, our visiting Japanese athlete. She sits in 10th at present with a best of 46.23, so that's not going to get her the additional throws. And we will continue to cross to the track here as we get some action from the 200s.
Yeah, this might be the B 200 metre race. It's still the A races to come. A women's race at 4:15 and the men's at the women's race at 4:30 to conclude our track program, and the men's at 22 past 4. Our last track action, but we'll go back to high jump and then back to the discus is our focus at the moment in the ITM.
So it looks like the bar's gone up to 184 in the women's high jump, and we can confirm that there are 5 athletes still alive. So we saw Keely O'Hagan not quite conquer her first attempt, but she did the same at 181, 2 fouls, and then a third attempt clearance at 181. So she's racking up the reps here. Imogen Skelton, with a clean card so far, sits in equal first place with Erin Shaw of Australia. She'll take her first crack looking to maintain that unblemished card at 184. Strong rhythm, brushes the bar, gives it a little wobble, but she's clear and she likes it, and she should. 4 from 4. First attempt here for Imogen Skelton. She'll stay in the lead in the women's high jump.
Yeah, improves the season's best as well, and just 2 centimetres away from her PB, which in her next attempt, it would be a new personal best, as we see Tatiana Kamoana back in the cage in the discus. Looking to improve on her position in third. Best so far of 53.56 as we go back to the high jump. And here is Takahashi. First attempt at 1.84. And makes.
Convincing clearance there too. Fantastic by her. After having a miss at 181 and then a second attempt clearance, she's gone well clear at 184 on first attempt. That'll give her no end of confidence as we have 2 more athletes to jump at 184. Nora Moni into the circle, currently sitting in second place in the women's discus. A nice looking flight for her. Perhaps not quite as far as her current best attempt of 56.16 metres, where she sits narrowly behind our leader, Taryn Golshuski, at 56.31. Tatiana Komoana currently rounding out the top 3 in pursuit. Here's Erin Shaw, first attempt, 184. And she brushes the bar with her first miss of the day, so the plot thickens.
Skelton and Takahashi clear at first go at 184. We get to see Alexandra Harrison of Australia have a go at that mark. First blemish there for sure as we go back to the discus. And Sujikawa. And that looked pretty good out the hand and up around that 50 to 55 metre mark again.
Yeah, it looked like it
she
just
needed that.
Stalled a little bit in the air, that one, but if she can catch one, it's there. Looks like we're crossing down to Sarah Cowley, who's got the winner of the men's triple jump. Down to you, Sarah.
Winner of the News Talk ZB men's triple jump, Ethan Olivier. Congratulations, 16.85 today, but really tricky out there on the runway for you.
Thank you very much. It's just a problem with the wind being illegal on all my jumps. Otherwise, I would have the record today. Other than that, all was smooth. Everything was good. Glad I won today.
Now, your brother Valray, he actually took the New Zealand resident record with his jump because his was a legal wind under 2.0. How does that rate with the rivalry between you?
It doesn't bother me. You got the legal jump, so he's just lucky with the wind. It'd be nice if I had the residency, but I still got 3 meetings, so I'll break it again, so it's fine.
So game on between you, which is awesome. Now, you guys are based in South Africa, but you are Kiwis representing New Zealand. It's wonderful to have you back in New Zealand. What's it like being here, returning to New Zealand for you guys?
Oh, it's quite pleasant being here. I like the people here. Everyone's very friendly. Crowds here are quite nice, and weather's lovely. It's nice and cool here compared to South Africa. But yeah, everything's great here.
And we'll see you in action. You've got 3 more meetings in your New Zealand tour, culminating in national championships in Wellington. What have you enjoyed about the meet today?
It was very well organised, which I quite like, because where I come from, that's a bit of a hassle to find sometimes, but it was very well organised. All the officials were great, so it was just a very good meeting in general.
Well, wonderful to have you back in New Zealand, and your brother, who collected the New Zealand resident record today, but I'm sure you'll be back trying to get that national record further down the track. So congratulations to you, Ethan, winner of the men's triple jump at the International Track Meet for 2024.
Cheers, Sarah. And unfortunately some bad news for Sarah Kelly-Ross, because her meet record in the women's long jump has finally been beaten. She said it in the inaugural edition. We were bantering about this prior to going to air in 2009, 6.06 metres. And the new record is going to be held by Elizabeth Heading, I believe, although do we then have to have a look at wind readings, etc. But let's have a look at the women's long jump, and what a competitive competition with 5 athletes going over 6 metres, and Elizabeth Heading, she needed to improve on her best. Actually, she was just ahead by 2 centimetres on Samantha Dale, 6.48 versus 6.46, but she's gone and added a further 2 centimetres with her last leap to win the women's long jump.
A few scalps there for the top 3 athletes who've done really well. Brooke Bushkuhl, who finished with a best of 6 metres 30, struggled a little bit to find her rhythm today, and she's a 7 metre jumper at her best, and a finalist at global level, so those top 3 athletes can give themselves a pat on the back for the way they handled themselves in the conditions today in an outstanding women's long jump.
Back to the discus we go as we look to find our final 8. We're in round 3.
That one looks like a foul. It's caught the cage again, and we go back to the high jump here at 184. We're just trying to find out whether this is 2nd or 3rd attempt here for Keely O'Hagan, but she's clear regardless. It doesn't matter.
It was 3rd again.
It was 3rd attempt again. Gee, she's making us wait. Her coach, Terry Lomax, will be having a fit. Settle down, Terry. She's all clear. 3rd attempt clearance at 181 and a 3rd attempt clearance at 184. Congratulations, that's a gritty fighting performance there by Keely. She stays alive, and the bar will go to 187 as we have 3 athletes now clear at 184, with 2 more awaiting their final attempt. Erin Shaw and Alexandra Harrison of Australia will have their 3rd attempts respectively, coming up to see if we can keep this 3 athlete field moving into a 4 or 5 athlete field when we go to 187 shortly. 2 attempts remaining at 184. This is Erin Shaw, capably coached by the great Alex Stewart out of Sydney, in a training squad that's full of horsepower. Unfortunately, not to be on her 3rd attempt, so she will bow out with a best of 181 today and 3 fouls at 184. Sits her in 4th place here. The hesitation in my voice is only due to the fact that Alexandra Harrison has 1 more attempt at 184. So if she goes clear, she will relegate Erin down to 5th place. But this will be the final jump at 1 metre 84 regardless in the women's high jump with 3 clear. Imogen Skelton, clear. Nagisa Takahashi, clear. And Keely O'Hagan, clear. Alexandra Harrison coming in strongly, looking to set her rhythm, but she's brushed the bar as well. That'll be it for her day. Well done to her, and thank you for coming over to support the ITM meet to Alexandra Harrison in the Mainland Foundation Women's High Jump. We have our top 3, and they will go up to 187, 3 centimetre rise to try and re-establish our order.
And neither Nagisa or Imogen have cleared at 187 in their careers. So
well, there you go.
PB territory as we look at Keely laying flat prone.
The only one who
out.
has cleared 187 before is Keely in that Commonwealth Games final you mentioned earlier. And she's a seasoned veteran, as she's shown on 2 third attempt clearances today, and she's just having a little lay down at the fence there, gathering her energy. Maybe she's got designs to do it on 3rd attempt here, but I would suggest probably not. If she can get it on the first one, she's going to be hard to beat. 1st attempt clearance at 187 will be very difficult to beat in this strong women's high jump competition here, brought to you by the Mainland Foundation.
And you might have seen just there the men's 200 metre open B grade about to begin. A cast of young local talent from both within Canterbury and across the country. Kevin Syriac, Troy Middleton, Finn O'Sullivan, Hunter Scott and Blake Dalton. And we'll have the A 200 metre race in about 15 minutes time, followed by the women, Rosie Elliott and Georgia Hulls, having both dipped under the previous national record here at the ITM last year. That concludes our track program as we take a look at the B race, and I believe that's Troy Middleton striding clear in lane 4. He's going to take out the B race with Hunter Scott in lane 6 and Blake Dalton of the Tairi Club in 7 as we go back to the women's high jump, and I believe that was a first unsuccessful attempt by O'Hagan at 1.87. So we'll just try and get back to the high jump, which is very much at the business end, before we turn our attention to the track and, of course, the conclusion of the women's discus. Here is Imogen Skelton. First go at 1.87 metre, would be a personal best.
She's looked good today so far. First time clearances at 172, 177, 181 and 184. She's yet to touch the bar, so I don't even know if she knows it's there. Maybe she's just living in blissful ignorance, but she seems to be on today. The job ahead of her to cash in on days when you're feeling good and the event comes easily. It's often the task is to just keep it as simple as possible and stay out of your own way. So sending our attention and energy out to Imogen here as she approaches the bar at 187. It's a very strong attempt. Well, she has familiarised herself with the bar, but it's a PB. The bar stays convincingly on. Not even close to being a foul there. We'll just say that to ourselves. But congratulations to her. Her unblemished record continues today. 72, 77, 81, 84, and now 187 at first attempts. No fouls on the card. A new PB, and she hits the front in the women's high jump. Fantastic. You can see Keely O'Hagan in the background. Very excited for her Kiwi compatriot. And to right, she should be there. What a fantastic gritty approach. She looks to be on today, and I dare say she's not going to stop at 187. After this, the bar goes to 190, and you'd be a brave man to rule her out based on the evidence so far today.
That is a new stadium record as well here at Puna as the crowd gets in and around Nagisa Takahashi of Japan. Can she match Imogen Skelton at 187? Long strides in, and the bar stays on.
To right she can. Game on. We have a competition here. What a ding-dong battle now. Takahashi had a first-time miss at 181, so she'll be in second place on the count back to that height, but she has cleared 5 of her 6 jumps today, first-time clearances at her first 2 heights, and then 184 and 187, only sitting second to Imogen Skelton's impressive 5 from 5 day, and those two will survive and advance. We'll see them have a crack at 1m90, which is personal best territory for both of them.
Well, yeah, they're both just PB'd 187 as we go back to Keely O'Hagan, but they will be absolutely thrilled.
They're playing with house money, really. PB's on the board. There's nothing to lose. Can Keely join the party here? Let's wait and see.
Deep in her preparation, visualisation. What is it going to take to clear the bar at 1m87? Here comes Keely O'Hagan.
Not a bad attempt, but just
brushed it.
Just brushed it, not quite getting the centre of gravity up to where it needed to be. Centre of mass, I should say. The physics aficionados and biomech team will give me a slap around for that one, but hey, we don't really leave the ground that much in the throws world, so you can excuse me for that one. But it didn't look far off, did it?
And we should say, Keely, this is, the last 2 heights, it was the third attempt, and final. So maybe she's just keeping us on tender hooks.
Maybe it's just her preferred way of doing things, Some people are wired that way. But, hey, as I said, you'd be a brave man to rule her out given the performance so far today. She's not short on grit and toughness, and we will await her final attempt and see if she can continue to contribute to this exciting women's high jump where the top 2 athletes have already cleared PBs, and impressively so.
We're just taking a look at the women's B 200-metre starters, which isn't too far away, brought to you by the ITF Trust. Of course, the A race, both the men and women to follow. The men at 22 past 4, the women at half past. But Jodie McCarthy-Dempsey on the inside, Georgia Gibbons, Michaela Fiti, Jordan Blake, Kate Borton, Holly Gray and Eden Innes. But, just keep our eyes on that high jump and make sure we're well across Keely O'Hagan's third and final attempt. Can she join Imogen Skelton and Nagisa Takahashi? She's just taken all the time that she needs. As mentioned, successful on the third attempt at both 181 and 184. Can she do it at 187? Deep breath. Here we go. Oh, so close.
What a wonderful day for Keely. Great to see her back out there healthy and fit on the track. She's been a stalwart of this competition, of this meet for a long time, and leading the way for New Zealand women's high jump, and has done herself a wonderful credit today with a gritty performance, and more to come from her. Well done to Keely, and she will pop the tracksuit back on, and we've already seen how generous she is with her praise and gratitude for Imogen Skelton. Perhaps the heir apparent coming through and having her day today, but we will have a 2-woman field as we go to 1m90. Gee, we're really getting up there. 190's it's rare air. So let's see where we end up in this women's high jump with 2 athletes to go. But now we cross down to the women's 200, brought to you by the International Track and Field Trust.
It's the B grade race with the A race to follow at 4:30. Look like a strong start there in lane 5 from Michaela Fiti. And
it's like Jordan Blake running strongly
Jordan
there.
Blake in 6 as well.
Hard to miss in the bright pink spikes, but she is putting some distance between herself and the rest of the field here. What a wonderful run by Jordan Blake.
And on
then
the outside,
throw a blanket over them.
Yeah, it might be Holly Gray, who's just jumped in for second over Michaela Fiti. But, yeah, impressive from Jordan Blake in the B race. Jordan's personal best there, 24.32. So we'll just await the times there as we go back to the women's high jump. Then there were two. It is the Kiwi Imogen Skelton, who has had a perfect day, an absolute perler. Here she goes at 190. Ooh. And first time we see the bar
First miss
fall.
of the day, but she's got to be riding high on confidence right now. Surely, I don't think she's packed up for the day and content with a PB. Such is her form and showing today, she will look to reset and have another crack at 1.90 as we turn over to Nagita Takahashi at her first attempt at 1.90 as well.
There's Terry Lomax.
Yeah, it's his natural habitat out there. He loves it. He's basically got a mattress tucked away in the bushes at Puna, and that's his happy place. So good to see him out here with a smile on his face. Such a buoyant and long-serving stalwart of New Zealand athletics. She wants some crowd involvement here. Gee, she's bold. I wonder if the New Zealand crowd are going to lend her a pair of hands here to see if she can sail over 190 against the local champ. But yeah, no, look.
Yeah, there we go.
Look, I make a little bit of jest, but of course they are. Everyone's keen to see the battle continue.
No, we should get right in behind this Japanese contingent who have come down in their droves for this edition of the ITM. Here is Takahashi, just can't get over there. So even Stevens, or as things stand, Imogen Skelton with their nose in front, having just had the one failure.
Yeah, that's right. And what a wonderful contingent, as you say, of Japanese visiting athletes that have turned out here. And we thank them for making the journey. We're glad that we could have them here. Look at the replay there. Again, only her second miss of the day, but her first one at 1.90. Now we're about to cross to the
men's 200 metres.
The men's 200 metres.
Yeah, not far away.
Now look, I've done my best. I've contributed. I've given you some context on the 200s, but before we get underway with the men's 200 and then the women's 200, I can defer here. Now, do you know who holds the meet record here in the women's 200?
Well, I called it, so I probably should remember.
Yeah, you remember? Do you want to throw any names at me?
Elliot?
Yeah, Rosie Elliott, that was.
That's
she's got the meet record here. She also has the stadium record. As we go, just pause on that one for a sec as Imogen Skelton takes her second crack. Gee, she's really having a go at that. She's nice, aggressive. She's playing offense out there, and that's what we like to see. I wouldn't write her off for that third attempt. Now, Rosie Elliott, she has the meet record, stadium record too. New Zealand national record, she's got that. New Zealand resident record, got that too.
I think it was all on the same run.
You know what? It was all the same race. It was right here last year, so I'm going to pass the headset to none other than Rosie Elliott, who's going to take us through this men's and women's A races in the 200.
And Thank you for having me. And the high jump. Yeah, thanks, Dale.
Let's get behind the finishing touches on this women's high jump, and you can enjoy the 200s with the dulcet tones of Rosie Elliott.
Hey, thanks so much for your expertise and insight, Dale Stevenson there, as we welcome into the booth Rosie Elliott. Well, that's a bit of big bad breaking news for me, because I was expecting to see you on my monitor in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm really sorry to surprise you with my presence.
It's a lovely surprise.
Oh, thank you.
However, can you just inform those of us who are tuning into the live stream here, why aren't you racing?
Unfortunately, I'm having some problems with my knee at the moment. I had a wee accident in the gym a couple of months ago and just haven't quite recovered. We've started to have a few problems as we've gotten into some faster work and into some racing. I did have to withdraw from Melbourne last weekend, and sorry, I'll just go back to this high jump.
No, you're a little bit distracted because we are very much at the business end of the high jump. 1.90. Here comes Nagisa Takahashi with her second attempt, and just didn't quite get the launch right there. So Skelton and Takahashi still with one attempt remaining at 1.90. And as I was just mentioning before, Imogen Skelton out at Auckland City Athletic Club with her nose in front having gone fully successful up until this height. But let's turn our attention
and has
to...
jumped a PB today as
Oh,
well.
incredible.
Yeah,
she's had a day. So, we've seen some PBs, records aplenty in the 2024 edition. As we now turn our attention to the 200 metres, the men's race. Talk us through it, Rosie. Where are your eyes fixed in this one?
Well, I hate to admit, I actually really only looked at the women's 200 because, you know, I have withdrawn from this race so late that I'm only aware of who was running the women's.
You're okay. I'll put you on the spot there, but
I know.
We'll take a look at the field from lane 1, Hayato Yoneto, AJ Madondo out of Christchurch College, a young sprinter, long jumper, triple jumper on the rise. He's in lane 2. Angus Lyther, Hiroto Fujiwara in 4. Lex Revel Lewis, I believe Craig Motley called in a prior race who did extremely well. That is Jun Yamashita there in lane 7, one of 3 Japanese sprinters we have in this race. And Zach Saunders in 8, Yudai Nishi in lane 6. And we've got 3 of these runners have gone under 21 seconds.
Yeah, so as you can see, we've got a couple of the Japanese runners in there who have run at 20.4, another who has run at 20.6. And from New Zealand, Lex Revel Lewis is the fastest in this field with a 21.04. Perhaps this will be the day that he gets under that 21-second mark.
We'll keep our eyes on the women's high jump, the conclusion of the women's high jump as well. Perhaps might just run the tape on that one if we have to go back. If we miss those attempts from Skelton and Takahashi. But we are just moments away from the men's 200 metres, brought to you by the ITF Trust, which will be followed by the women's 200 metres, sans Rosie Elliott.
In about 10 minutes, I think.
You've been out there. What's the wind like? Because obviously it was fantastic for you lot last year.
Last year, so
we're off.
There they go.
And it looks a strong start from our man Jun Yamashita in 7 in the blue and white and the headband as they come around the bend. Strong.
Into the straight now.
Yeah, into the straight. There's Nishi right next to him, and strong from Revel Lewis too. Nishi's taken over. He'll win. And I think Yamashita has just held on for second, but a really good run too from Lex Revel Lewis, the Kiwi. That is your podium. Nishi, Yamashita and Lewis. Here is the replay. Well, it was a strong start by Yamashita, but just faded there late at the finish.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they were contending with a little bit of a headwind at some stage during that race. I have, as you just said, I have come from outside. I did have a
the big bad world.
From the big bad world. I did have a look at some of the winds that were playing around there before I came in here. We were looking at some 4-point tails, unfortunately.
So it won't be legal times, but still.
Well, it may be. Sometimes every now and then we'll get that perfect wind, but I do believe that it is a headwind on that bend.
And we're going live now to the high jump, and, well, that to me says that we are done. However, just need to check in to see, well, surely that would mean we haven't had any further clearances at 1.90 metre in the
I believe
women's.
we have one more to jump in the women's high jump.
Excuse me, that's just the end of Imogen Skelton's afternoon, who currently leads. So Nagisa Takahashi would need to clear here to take out the women's high jump, given the series.
And here's the replay of Imogen Skelton.
Just coming out of shot like a tracer bullet.
Very close up.
But what a day for her.
Fantastic day. And she's actually come off a bit of injury as well. She's had a really hard few months. So it's fantastic to see her being out there. I had a chat to her yesterday in the gym, and she said she's just loving being able to jump and thoroughly enjoying it.
Here is Takahashi. One last go at 1.90 metre and unable to clear, but a great day for her too. Personal bests for Nagisa Takahashi of Japan, and your winner of the women's high jump here at the ITM 2024, Imogen Skelton, given her, well, up until the 1.9 metre mark, a perfect series successful attempts on the first go at 1 metre 87, 1 metre 84, 81, 77 and 72. Your winner of the women's high jump, Imogen Skelton, Nagisa Takahashi in second, and Kelly O'Hagan rounding out the podium in third with a clearance at 1.84. See if we can get those times through from the men's 200 metres before we turn our attention to the women's race in a matter of minutes. Still waiting on the live results there from the live times, unofficial times, excuse me, on the men's 200. But it looked like it was taken out by our Japanese sprinter. Yudai Nishi. We're just waiting for those times to come through. And there is our women's high jump field posing for a photo, and fantastic competition. And should mention too, Maddie Wilson, I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, defending champion, but just coming off a ridiculous combined championships last week.
Yeah, she had
PBs in what, 6?
Actually
7?
She had PBs in all 7.
That pesky wind.
It's based on a technicality. She only had PBs in 6, but that would be the perfect heptathlon.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's almost unheard of, I would have thought.
Yeah, indeed. So we're about 3 minutes away from the women's 200, which is brought to you by the Christchurch Casino, and we will keep our eyes across the women's discus as well, which is just entering the final round. 8 athletes left, of course. Ashley Anumba leads with a best of 57.13. Taryn Golszewski of Australia in second position, Noramoni in third, and the local Tatiana Kaumoana, now out of Te Araha Athletic Club. She's improved on her best with her penultimate attempt with a 54.57 to sit in fourth. There is the standings in the final round, but we are just moments away from the women's 200 metres, brought to you by the Christchurch Casino. If you're just joining us for this, you will notice you're hearing Rosie Elliott rather than seeing Rosie Elliott. Rosie, given how well you know everyone here, what do you make of this race?
Well, obviously we have a few international athletes coming into this race. I personally think that the real race will be between Ella Connolly, who I think is in lane 4, and Georgia Hulls, who is in lane 5. But we absolutely can't discount Tsurata and Kimishima either. They'll be running in 6 and 8. Outside of that, we've got a fantastic field. We've got Amelie Fairclough, who is running from lane 2, and she actually just ran a PB in the 200 a couple of weeks ago at Pirate Classic, so she has a PB of 24.5. She has previously been a 400 metre runner. I'm not sure if she's made the decision to come down. A bit like me, yeah. I'm not sure if she's made the decision to come down a distance, but I do know that she is part of that under-20 women's relay squad that they are trying to qualify for the World Juniors,
Peru?
which will be later this year. Lane 3, we have Portia Bing, PB of 23.57, and obviously New Zealand record holder in the 400 metre hurdles. Ella Connolly, who I mentioned previously, lane 4, she has a PB of 22.84. Sorry, no, that's Georgia. She's a PB of 22.95. She actually broke the Australian 60 metre record earlier this season.
Okay.
So she's coming in with some real speed and is absolutely known to have a phenomenal start and bend in a 200. So I think it'll be really interesting to see how Georgia responds to having her on the inside. Outside her, we have obviously Georgia Hulls, who is second fastest all time in New Zealand history. Ran her PB of 22.84 at ITM last year. She's also the current New Zealand and Oceania champion and my training partner. So as I'm watching,
and how's she feeling going into this? In terms of, like you mentioned, last year it was a blistering race. Is she so obviously getting into the summer season here? But is she training well, hitting where she wants to be?
Yeah, I think so. She's been hitting some really good metrics in training.
So we'll see.
We'll see, yeah.
Well, let's hear from Ella Connolly before the start. Let's just quickly sneak that interview in from earlier in the week.
Hi, my name is Ella Connolly. I'm an Australian 100 and 200 metre runner. I'm really grateful to be over here in New Zealand and looking forward to the comp in Christchurch. I think it's a good opportunity to raise some good athletes and experience New Zealand.
There's Ella Connolly there in lane 4, the Australian. Didn't run in the end in the 100 metres, so full focus on the 2. And Georgia Hull's on her right shoulder in lane 5.
Georgia's actually mixed up her race kit for this race, so hopefully this will be a fast one.
There you go. You heard it here first. Rightio, the Christchurch Casino women's 200 metres. Moments away. Fairclough on the inside. Portia Bing, Ella Connolly in 4. Georgia Hull's in lane 5. Remi Sorata of Japan in 6.
Looks like we're actually missing.
And maybe missing, yeah,
there
that's just dipped away there.
So we have an absence in lane 7. Georgia Gibbons, who actually came 3rd in the 200 metres at ITM last year, is in lane 8. And then Stephanie Power from Australia is in lane 9. I believe she ran the 100 metres earlier as well.
So late withdrawal from Arisa Kimishima, as well as Rosie Elliott, who you're hearing from.
And Owusu Afriye has also withdrawn.
Nana Owusu Afriye. So obviously big year with the Olympics ahead. But key points here up for grabs too. Of course, this is another bronze sanctioned event on the Continental Tour as part of World Athletics. As these sprinters look to mount a case and build key points, start to post some results to get there in the selection mix for Paris. There is Portia Bing in the middle there with the sunnies on.
It's very glary out there. Pretty bright.
Here we go. Connolly of Australia in 4. Georgia Hull's the runner-up of the ITM last year in 5. Will it be the Aussie getting one up over the Kiwi? Clean start. And around they go.
And you can see Ella has had a fantastic bend.
Yeah, Ella Connolly out in front early. And Sorata of Japan there, but you could throw a blanket over them. Here comes Georgia Hulls.
And Portia Bing. Look
Portia
at her go.
Bing in the mix. Sorata might have her nose in front. Georgia. Remi Sorata of Japan takes out the Christchurch Casino 200 metres.
Georgia
in second.
In close second. She was making a comeback. She has a big dip on her, so she just needs to maybe push that a little further.
And Ella Connolly in 3rd position as we wait the unofficial times. Take a look at the replay. Wow, what another thrilling edition of the women's
every
200.
Time, yeah, it's a fantastic race.
I'll wait some times, but Sarah Cowley-Ross is our roving reporter all afternoon, and she's standing by for another interview.
At the Mainland Foundation Women's High Jump today, it was a brilliant competition with Imogen Skelton setting a new personal best of 187 to claim the victory on countback. Imogen, congratulations. How did it go?
Thank you so much. I really just stuck to my cues and was just so focused this whole comp and really just trying to enjoy it and relax, and everything just came together, which was so exciting.
Well, it looked like you were enjoying yourself out there. And talk to me about the rest of the field, because it was a brilliant field out there that really all worked together to push those higher heights.
Yeah, 100%. We don't often get international athletes in New Zealand, so it's amazing that they came over, and it would be lovely to have them back because it's so great when we can all push each other.
Well, congratulations, Imogen Skelton, winner of the Women's High Jump here at the International Track Meet 2024.
And it's a shot there of the field, which would suggest to me that the women's discus has just wrapped up, and there is the standings for the women's discus, and Ashley Anumba has held on to win 57.13 metres over Taryn Golszewski, 26.31. A few fouls there late for Noramoni. Tatiana Kalmoana with the best of 54.57, but a good series there with, what is that, 4 attempts over 53.5. Be relatively happy with that as we await those times in the women's 200 metres. Taken out by Japan's Remi Surata. Georgia Hull's in second, Ella Connolly in third.
Well, it sounds like that has
What
finished
about
at the
the timing?
perfect time as well. Yeah, it's just started raining, as we could see in that interview with Imogen Skelton. And it seems to only be getting heavier, so that's wonderful timing.
Absolute perfection. There we have it. There.
That's the B,
that's the
B
B,
grade.
excuse me, of the
So-
women's 200. So we will just wait those times and hopefully get that just to conclude our coverage here of the 2024 edition of the International Track Meet. But what an edition it has been, just as the heavens open here in Christchurch's southwest. But I'm trying to think. There's been so much to unpack, Rosie. But I think back, the Olivier brothers, both well over 16 metres. Younger brother Ethan, I think, won it in the end. Was it 16.85? Let's just double check that so I get that bang on. Yep, 16.85. Valray Olivier with 16.35. And the way the wind was going there earlier in the day, our understanding is Valray Olivier's best of 16.35 was within the legal wind limit, so is the new New Zealand resident record holder. I mean, it's maybe a scant consolation, but given he's lost out to his brother who's gone 50 centimetres clearer and won, but those ones going outside that legal limit in the News Talk ZB. Men's triple jump, we had Sam Tanner. I think he's shaven 2 seconds off his PB in the 800, so he looks in really encouraging form.
Well, and that looked to be a pretty windy race. I was out there as well at the time that race was happening, and it felt like it would have been a very strong headwind, certainly down the home straight. Watching the women's, that was certainly the case. But yeah, 146.14,
And
2-second PB.
Young Cooper Whiteman is just a name to keep an eye on. Just 16 years of age and 1 minute 50.46 seconds in the 800 metres. Just jot that one down. Cooper Whiteman.
Someone to keep an eye on.
Talent on the rise. We'll see if we can get some last thoughts here from Sarah Cowley-Ross, who's been doing a fantastic job alongside Adam Jones out in the field this afternoon. Seems she might have caught someone at the end of that women's 200. Looks like I can see Adam there in the high vis.
Looks like she's got Georgia.
Yeah, she's got Georgia. So
they're wearing matching.
I was about to say
matching tops.
I wonder if they arranged that.
I'm sure they coordinated it.
Well, let's go to Sarah. She's just getting ready. Let's get down to her.
Georgia Hulls, great 200, pushed by the Japanese runner all the way. The final event, the rain's come down. How was it out there this year?
Yeah, I mean, not as ideal conditions as last year, but you can't have it every time. I always enjoy running here, and it's so cool to have such a big Japanese team over for these last classics. And yeah, so it's just nice to meet some new people. And I mean, I'd rather not have lost, but that's how it is.
That's how it is. Now, Rosie Elliott, one of your training partners, she didn't start. Can you give us an update on where she's at?
Yeah, I think she's just got a minor niggle. I don't think it's anything too serious, just playing it a bit safe. I guess it's not the year to throw things to the wind, pardon the pun, but yeah, I'm sure she'll be back at Nationals and we'll hopefully have a good tussle and some lower times.
Yeah, well, congratulations, Georgia. Another good outing today. More valuable points on the World Athletics ranking system. All the best for the rest of the season. You go out of the rain. I'm going to pull in my mates here who have been following me around the track. Come on, guys. And every event, I've had these guys. Now, you haven't been shied all day, so don't come in. What was the best thing about today?
Getting signatures.
Okay, where's my Malachi?
Nice.
Oh, he left. What was your favourite event?
100.
100?
100.
100?
100.
Long jump.
Awesome. Well, we've got some budding athletes here. It's actually coming down now, so I'm going to sign off. But thank you for joining us on the live stream at the International Track Meet. It's been a blast. So many internationals, so many great performances, and we'll see you back here in 2025.
And thank you, Sarah. Great coverage from down on the ground, as always, here at Ngā Puna. Here are the times from the men's 200. Nishi winning in 20.55 over his countryman Yamashita, and Revel Lewis, 20.85, which again the wind reading there plus 3.5, but well, that's the first time, might even be the first time he's gone under 21 seconds. I've got here.
I don't know what his
PB,
windy PB is.
Yeah, windy PB of course, but legal PB 21.39. There are the women's.
Here we have the women's.
Time.
Unfortunately, also a windy run.
3.3. Yeah. But Sarata 23.059. Georgia Hulls, as we heard from Sarah Cowley-Ross there, 23.153, and Ella Connolly rounding out with 23.264. But another really great run from Portia Bing, who I believe had a PB earlier in the program as well. So sensational stuff. Well, that'll do it here, folks, from another fantastic edition of the International Track Meet here in Ōtautahi, Christchurch. What a day it has been. Records falling, high calibre athletes from all around the world. A huge shout out to Paul Coughlin, Craig Motley and Leighton Tremaine who put this program together. Thanks to those who have stepped in the commentary position here with me today, the likes of Rosie, Dale Stevenson and Craig Motley earlier on, and hopefully Sarah Cowley-Ross and Adam Jones can go get dry after some great coverage out in the field just as the rain falls here at Ngā Puna Christchurch. But that'll do us. You can watch this back at any time. It will live up on our YouTube channel and on Facebook. But until next year, all the best.
Over 70 international athletes are coming to Christchurch to take on New Zealand's best right here at home in their bids to qualify for this year's Paris Olympics. The International Track Meet at Ngā Puna will be New Zealand's biggest international turnout for a one-day track and field meet ever. Action in the World Athletics Continental Tour events. Don't miss the International Track Meet.
What's the best thing we grow in Ōtautahi, Christchurch? Time and space to play. We have some stunning playgrounds here. Exciting ones and inspiring ones. Playgrounds for children and your inner child too. We grow delicious kai that brings everyone together. We grow great times, once in a lifetimes, and unforgettable memories. We grow by enjoying big things and the little things too. If you're seeking balance, this is the place to grow a deeper connection to our nature, culture, and people.